talking about salute. Get the likes up as you come into the live, man. Your boy Big Ratchet. We back with another one. Let's get to it, man. Let's get to it, Kai. Salute. Y'all come into the live. Y'all like the live as you come into the live. Like the live as you come into it. We about to get things going in just a second. We do got a lot to talk about tonight. There we go. Let me get off this. Boom. All right, there we go. We got a lot to talk about tonight, y'all. We got a lot. We're going to be here for a while. This is going to be like a 2.5, 3 hour live. Not really sure, but I know we got to go back over the YSL Rico case. We got to chop it up about Young Thug. We got to chop it up about Munk Tunk. We got to chop it up about YSL Woody. We got to chop it up about P. Diddy tonight. P. Diddy and Don got a lawsuit going on. P. Diddy been having a lot of weird shit going on here lately, cuz he been having some weird ass lawsuits that just been popping up out the woodworks on him, cuz. So we gonna chop it up about the diddler tonight. We definitely gonna chop it up about that boy P. Diddy. So let me see. Yeah, y'all like the live as you come into it, man. Like the live as you come into it, cuz. Let's keep it a big buck, your boy Big Ratchet. We back. Talking about, alright, man. Hold on, man. Y'all better get these likes up before we get to anything, cuz. Get these likes up before we get to anything, man. Salute to the gang. Alright, I'm talking about salute. We about to get to it. Are y'all ready for this? Because it's going to be another wild day, man. It was a wild day up in the trial. Today, with YSL, we're going to do a recap of day 127. We haven't covered all 127 days because there wasn't no need to, but we get into the meat and potatoes of that case tonight. We got to chop it up about that whole YSL Rico because, man, I don't know, man. It seemed like something might be going on to the point where is Young Thug about to come home, y'all? Let me ask y'all a question. Let me do a poll. Do you think Thugger will beat the case? Do y'all think Young Thug is going to beat that case? Yes or no in the chat. Let me know in that poll. I just dropped a poll right now. Let me know in the chat, man. Is Young Thug about to beat this Rico? And how the lights looking today, man? You know, the most flawless gang. Tone bite. Man. So, we about to get to it, man. We about to get to it in just a second. Are y'all ready to pipe up and get the likes up? Yesterday, man, the live ended, and I had dropped my phone because I didn't charge this phone, man. I didn't charge it. So by the time I went live, it was on I think I was on 50% when I went live. By the time I got off of it, it was at 1%. I'm gonna take this shot, y'all. Yeah, let's take this shot, cuz. Cheers to the gang. Y'all know I'm on my wine, but y'all take a shot with me, cuz. Let's get this live started, man. Go ahead and get your CBD so y'all can, hopefully you already got it rolled up. We're going to go ahead and get started on this live. We got a lot to discuss tonight. While we playing this music, I want y'all to take y'all shot. I want y'all to go ahead and spark up that CBD. I want y'all to go ahead and vote on that poll in the chat and get the likes up. Double tap that screen, man. Double tap that screen. We about to go ahead and get live and get active. We about to get live and get active. Let me know in the chat, man. Is Thug gonna beat that case? Cheers, y'all. Cheers. Is Young Thug about to beat this case, y'all? Let me know in the chat. Do y'all feel like he gonna beat it? Because we got a little information on the case tonight, and we gonna chop it up about it, man. 128 votes right now. 81% of the room says Thug is going to beat this case. That's a lot of people who think he's going to. It's a lot of percentage. Let's get some more votes on that poll while this music is playing. Everybody feeling like free Thugger. Everybody is feeling like free Thugger. And I ain't gonna lie, man. Over the last couple of days, man, this whole case is just loose. I ain't gonna lie, man. This has just been one of the most loose cases I have ever witnessed. I have ever watched. I don't know what it is, but it's loose. Let's get to this damn YSL case, man. Y'all already gang. Salute to the gang. Salute to the mother gang. No, I'm talking about pipe up. Let's get the likes up. Let's go. Spark that CBD up. Let's go.
bitch tryna get piped up. Snotty knows he gon' get wiped up. Pipe up, pipe up. I'm talking about all these niggas. I'm calling out all these niggas. Ain't no Debo don't stall these niggas. Pipe up, pipe up. Pipe down when you call my phone. Don't hit me up about no bitch. Gave her dick, now she won't get gone. Pipe up, pipe up. Who the fuck want war with a demon? You ain't got enough money, my nigga. Treat this shit like cars I'm leasing. Pipe up, pipe up. Do it look like I'm worried by the thread? When I'm strapped like COD. And you know I got them all on deck. Pipe up, pipe up. Big money when I push that button. Damn, why they all mad at me? Big Ratchet gon' push them buttons. Pipe up, pipe up. Now y'all really just need to pipe down. If this what you really want, my nigga, I can make one call right now. Pipe up, pipe up. Yo, bitch tryna hop on dick. And you know I never wet, my nigga. Better go ahead and mop that shit. Pipe up, pipe up. Keep talking, you gon' get piped up. Yo, bitch tryna get piped up. Snotty knows he gon' get wiped up. Pipe up, pipe up. These niggas ain't gon' do nothing. I ain't never did none of y'all nothing. Big Ratchet gon' push them buttons. Pipe up, pipe up. Keep talking, you gon' get piped up. Yo, bitch tryna get piped up. Snotty knows he gon' get wiped up. Pipe up, pipe up. These niggas ain't gon' do nothing. I ain't never did none of y'all nothing. Big Ratchet gon' push them buttons. Pipe up, pipe up. Keep talking, you gon' get piped up. Yo, bitch tryna get piped up. Snotty knows he gon' get wiped up. Pipe up, pipe up. These niggas ain't gon' do nothing. I ain't never did none of y'all nothing. Big Ratchet gon' push them buttons. Pipe up, pipe up. Keep talking, you gon' get piped up. Yo, bitch tryna get piped up. Snotty knows he gon' get wiped up. Pipe up, pipe up. These niggas ain't gon' do nothing. I ain't never did none of y'all nothing. Big Ratchet gon' push them buttons. Pipe up, pipe up. Keep talking, you gon' get piped up. Yo, bitch tryna get piped up. Snotty knows he gon' get wiped up. Pipe up, pipe up.
Man. Oh, shit. Let me switch my shit over. There we go. Oh, man. Switch the lights over, gang. I know they hating on the lights, cuz. They like, man, fuck Best Buy, cuz. They don't like that. They like, man, fuck Best Buy, cuz. That's where I got them too, cuz. Yo, talk about, I'll be finished sparking up the CBD, y'all. Hold on. I ain't ready yet. I'm almost ready. All right. Man. Hey, know I'm talking about. We back, Ratchet Gang. We back with another one. We back with another banger. Let's get the likes up. Look, you might have forgot. Hell, they might have forgot. But you already know it's the king. Too loyal, know I'm talking about Ratchet TV. Hey, y'all already know, man. Y'all already know. Get the likes up if you in the building. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Tap that notification bell so you can get the drop whenever I drop. Alright, so boom. Man. We gotta talk, Ratchet Gang. We gotta chop it up. Look, tonight we got to chop it up. We gotta chop it up about this YSL case. We gotta chop it up about this Rico that's taking place out there in ATL, man, Fulton County. Let's get the likes up. Man, I don't know, man. I ain't gonna lie, dog. After what I've been seeing, especially, I mean, this whole case has been loose. But over the past couple of days, weeks, whatever, we've been kind of paying more attention to this case. I pay attention to the whole case. I just never want to cover the whole thing. It's just taking it. This trial is gonna take forever because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Allegedly, and everything I say is alleged, and it's all under the Fair Use Act, and you can see the fair use disclaimer in the description of this video and in the description of all my videos. This is just for entertainment and educational purposes only. This is just to educate my people on what we've been covering over here. Like I said, it's all under the Fair Use Act, and you can see the fair use disclaimer in the description of this video, and everything I say is alleged. Allegedly, y'all, allegedly. So, like I said, man, the more I've been paying attention, it's the more we've been over here covering this shit. It's like the most fugazi stuff ever. Salute Easy on that 20-piece McNugget says, pipe up, Big Ratchet. Salute, man. We got 20 on the screen. I ain't mad at that at all. Salute Keyshawn for being a member for 8 months. I appreciate you, Keyshawn. Salute. Also, salute to Lil Pretty Me for gifting Somebody got a membership. I didn't even see who got it, but salute to the person who got the membership. I appreciate you for gifting that membership, little Miss Pretty Me. I think I said his name right. Salute to you though. I appreciate you. Make sure y'all double tap the screen. If you want to support the channel, $Ratchet TV for the Cash App, or just in the super chat, super sticker. I appreciate all that. Talking about, I appreciate all that. Let's keep it a big buck. Well, since we got the lights going, we got everything ready. See, what we gonna do is we gonna set the mood right. We gotta get to these videos tonight. We have got to get to a few videos tonight, so we are going to switch. We gotta switch this over, cuz. We got to switch this over, cuz. What should we switch it up to, cuz? Let's see. We're gonna have a. Hold on, cuz. Give me a second, cuz. We might have to switch it over to that one, dog. We might have to switch it over, dog. Hold on. There we go. Give me a second, man. Sheesh. Sheesh. There we go. We'll leave it like that for right now. We'll leave it like that. Now, you know what? Let me get the sunset glow going. We'll get the sunset going. Yeah, there we go. We finna put the lights out on these motherfuckers. We about to put the lights out on these motherfuckers tonight, gang. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. We gotta cover this YSL trial. Let's get these mother likes up, gang. Salute to V. Will says, if you're here, hit that like button. Salute to V Will for that 10-piece. I appreciate you, gang. Salute, salute, salute. Also, Southern Peach. Oh, Southern Peach said, fuck that. Let me drop a 50-piece McNugget off to Big Daddy Ratchet. Salute to Southern Peach for that 50-piece McNugget. She said, get the mother likes up, gang. You know she don't play either. You know she be ready to cut her mother head off. I better watch out for Southern Peach, man. I salute. I appreciate that 50-piece McNugget. Salute. Also salute to Chocolate Queen for that 20-piece. Chocolate Queen says RG4L. Salute King. Show them why you're still on the throne. You already know there's only one king. There's only one king in this big ratchet, man. It's the biggest in the game, man. All right. Well, we're going to get to the YSL case. Also, we got to get to Diddy. Diddy has he's found himself in another lawsuit. Jess B said, fuck that. Let me throw my 50-piece McNugget up to you, Big Ratchet. Salute. Jess B, she says RG4L. I appreciate you, Jess B. Salute, salute, salute. That's love. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, my ladies be showing up and showing out. Thank y'all for pulling up, popping out, showing up, showing out. No, I'm talking about, we got 150 on the screen. No, I'm talking about, and we only got 300 likes. That shows we got a lot of haters up in here, man. We got a lot of haters in the building. Double tap that like button, man. Double tap that like button. Let's go. We finna get active. We finna get active right now. Oh, shit. Miss Prissy said they throwing 50s, man. Let me throw up a honey bun, man. Let me show them what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, let me throw my prissy ass in here, cuz. Salute to the king and the gang. Salute to D Priss for that whole honey bun. I appreciate you. That puts us at 250. We've been on live for 13 minutes, cuz. We ain't said shit yet. We ain't talking about nothing yet, cuz. Nah, but man, real shit. Let's go ahead and get to this damn YSL Rico. We gonna be here for a while. Where y'all before I do that, did y'all know about Danity Kane? You see, remember last time we was talking about Diddy over here? We was talking about Aubrey. Now that's the one I'm waiting on, and it's coming. Being that Don has filed a lawsuit on Diddy, which I got the whole paperwork. I got all 55 pages of paperwork of Don and Diddy tonight. I will drop that on this live tonight. I got the whole case of Don and Diddy tonight. So, being that Don has filed her lawsuit, I think it's only right that Aubrey is about to file hers. I could only think Aubrey O'Day is going to file hers pretty soon. Are y'all aware? Have y'all been keeping up with the Diddy case? Or do y'all even want to talk about that tonight? Because I got all 55 pages. I'm going to start off with the YSL case. And then that'll be like the first hour. I got like an hour worth of probably a little bit more than an hour worth of content with the YSL trial, YSL case. Then I got like about another, being with the paperwork added, probably another hour of Diddy. So we're going to chop this live up in two. We're going to do one part YSL case. Woody and all them will throw all them into one part. And then we'll backdoor that. As soon as we're done with that, we're just going to start talking about Diddy and Don, Diddy and Don. Do y'all want to talk about the Diddy case tonight? Let me know in the chat. If y'all want to cover the Diddy case also tonight, make sure you drop the gems. If you don't want to talk about Diddy, drop the eyeballs. Like, nah, man, I'm just trying to see about this Young Thug shit, okay? I just want the Young Thug shit, okay? Let me know in the chat. Let's go. Dropping bombs on these niggas, okay? We dropping pure bombs on them, okay? All right. So let's get to it without any other interruptions. Let's go ahead and get to this damn YSL case, okay? Did y'all say y'all want to talk about Diddy now? Okay, it looks like y'all do. We will talk about Diddy tonight at some point. Probably the second hour, we'll get into that Diddy content. So y'all just be on the lookout, okay? Just be on the lookout, okay? That's all I can tell y'all. Just be on the lookout, okay? All right, let me get my videos ready. You should have been ready, Ratchet. I know. It's all good. All right. So let's get to this. All right. Let's start back from yesterday. I know y'all remember yesterday. Monk Tonk was up there and his lawyer was up there. Do y'all remember where we left off yesterday on the YSL trial? Day 126, because right now we're about to get into day 127. All right. Let's get to this, man. Hold on, okay? All right. So what we about to do is we about to go ahead and get to this YSL case. Are y'all ready? Let's start back where we left off. We didn't play this yesterday because this ain't yesterday's video, but we just got to pick back up from Monk Tunk, and that's kind of where we left off yesterday. So let's go ahead and chop it up. Make sure y'all double tap your screens and get those likes up, man. Make sure y'all double tap your screens and go ahead and get those likes up, okay? Salute to Big Baby for that 5-piece. I appreciate you, Big Baby. Hopefully you don't pass out after eating that Subway, Big Baby. Salute to you. I appreciate you, gang.
So I caught part of the end of court today when the judge was talking to the attorneys after the jury was dismissed for the day. And one thing that really kind of like irked my nerves was when basically the defense attorneys were asking the judge and expressing how this trial is basically taking forever. The state still has 90-something witnesses that they are set to call, and somebody who was only supposed to be on the stand for 3 hours turned into a whole week, plus another witness who honestly had no business being up there in the first place. And so the judge is again saving loves behind, and it's telling them oh well, she I'm pretty sure she didn't expect to have an uncooperative witness. I'm pretty sure she expected for him to only be up there for 3 hours, but he was being uncooperative. And I hate the fact that she used the word uncooperative, because that man was not uncooperative. What he was truthful, and he was truthful in his own way, and Love didn't like the way that he was cooperating with her. And so it turned into I'm going to badger you, I'm going to come at you hard, I'm going to do everything in my power to either get you to say what I want you to say, or to find something else that I can hold against you, since you aren't doing what I want you to do. He wasn't not just answering her questions or whatever. He was very much giving her answers, trying to give explanations, all of these things. He just was not giving her exactly what she wanted, which is why his whole Muntu's whole testimony ended up being dragged out a week when it was only supposed to be 3 hours. That is not on the witnesses. And if Love got true witnesses, or if she had true factual statements or true accounts from the people that she's bringing up as her witnesses, we wouldn't be running into this issue in the first place. And at the end of the day, it's all on the states. It's all the state's fault, because they keep bringing up people up to the stand and expecting them to lie and expecting them to lay down and just do their dirty work for them, and that's not happening, and they're scrambling.
Do y'all believe that? Do y'all believe the state is scrambling right now in the YSL case?
And they're mad about it, and they're upset about it, and every time it happens, Love has to defend her ego. And that's the reason why these 3-hour long direct questionings are turning into a week or a month.
Now, let me get my hold on, let me get my damn headphones. Give me a second. I mean my headphones. Let me get my microphone. Yeah, so right now the state, I think that, see, this is what I think. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I think the state is freestyling this case. I think that they thought some shit was gonna go down, and it just really didn't go how they thought it would. Oh, salute to Customized Creations LBC. Y'all make sure to go follow Customized Creations LBC on y'all make sure to follow them on Instagram, man. I'm giving them some promo. Y'all make sure to also go check out their website, man. Go check out their website, etsy.com /shop/Lens Creative Side. Y'all go check out Lens Creative Side on Etsy. Also, y'all go subscribe to the Instagram at customized_creations LBC. Do that for your boy Big Ratchet, man. Do that for your boy Big Ratchet. All right, so let's get back to this now. I finished that video. Let's get to this next video, because I think the state, I'm gonna be serious, man. I think the state is pretty much just freestyling the whole damn case. I don't really think they got what they thought they had. I think that this is Fanny really just, I think she just reached, and she just really to go ahead and start this Rico up on YSL without having all her facts together. I don't know who agrees with it. If you agree with that, drop the gems. If you don't agree with that, drop the caps. I think Fannie Willis just got emotional about some shit, and I think it has something to do with her D that she couldn't get no more because somebody took her baby out, her baby nut. Someone took nut out and she went nuts. Once they took a nut out, she just said, you know what, fuck this. Let me squeeze my tiny ass over here and start this Rico.
And it's pled guilty that you would like reviewed in camera or want to just share.
Oh shit. Hold on. Hold on. This shit is. Let me see if this is my damn thing. Did my damn speaker just fuck up?
So something happened overnight in the YSL crowd, and it is. So the jury is not in today. They have a non-jury day today.
My bad. So I had to fix my damn speaker. My bad, y'all. I had to fix my speaker because that shit started squeaking like a motherfucker. All right, hold on. Let's get back to it. My bad. I was like, hold on, okay.
For the other defendants who pled guilty that you would like.
Let me turn this volume up.
Camera or want to just share.
As it relates to Mr. Ryder, I did send him that request. He said that he sent it last night at 10:30. And I said I didn't see it, so he said this morning that he was resending it. I'm signing on to see if it has come through.
Did any defense counsel get an email last night from Mr. Wright?
No, Judge, I don't recall even seeing an email from Ms. Love going to Mr. Wright.
It's a text. I sent it to him from my phone, and I copied other people on it to make sure that it was confirmed that I sent it. But what I asked him to do was, oh God.
It says, now let's read this out. I'm trying to, my damn shit is peaking over here. All right. My bad, y'all. My damn shit is peaking. Hold on. Okay. All right. Yeah, we better. All right, we better. It says YSL Rico trial day 126. Like I said, we're going to pick back up where we left off. Now, this is where we kind of left off yesterday. We didn't play all the rest of the videos, but it says Miss Love hasn't complied with the court in sending an email to attorney Mr. Wright for all correspondence emails to be sent to everyone from the defense. Now, like I said, they playing dirty games out here. They don't even got none of the shit together. It's like they're every day they wake up and they just start working on the case that day. It's like they don't have nothing. They don't know what the witnesses are talking about. They don't know if the witnesses are going to comply with them. They don't know if the witnesses are with them. They don't know if the witnesses are with the thug. They have no idea who is who, what part they played. they don't. It's like they just really just threw this whole case together and just said, "Fuck it, judge. Can we just please try this?" And judge is like, "I bet we're gonna try to figure this shit out."
I forgot that the court reporter was here. That is my fault. She told me that. Okay, let's start over. Miss Love, you asked if you had emails that you had found any more from Mr. Wright, and you were, and as well as whether there were any from the other attorneys for defendants who have already pled that you want to either share or have reviewed in camera.
I have not yet located other, and to be fully candid, I only inquired as to Mr. Wright.
Okay.
I thought that I would be able to look at the others after we finished with Mr. Wright. I wanted to make sure I had all of those, but my email to him asked him to forward any correspondence between the two of us regarding this case. Anything related to prior iterations need to be turned over or reviewed in camera by the court. I've provided what I need to ensure that the emails that I have make up the entirety of our correspondence via email or text. Would you please provide those to me tonight? He said he did. I'm checking now.
Okay, and it looks like you were just reading that off of your phone. Is that a text that you sent to Mr. Wright? So you were just reading that verbatim?
It was,
Okay.
and I just got his personal text. Apparently, I had been trying to reach him via some service that goes to his
Okay.
voicemail. So my investigator was the one that was always able to contact him.
Okay.
So I'm signing on now.
Okay. And so he had said that he sent something out to everybody last night, but
No.
nobody seems to have received it.
Just me.
Just to you.
He said his words were sent. That's what he said.
Okay.
Sent. But
So I'm gonna wait to see if there's any response, but because my understanding was that the court's instructions were that either Ms. Love or one of us was to email and copy everyone on that email so we could all be apprised of the conversations that's going on back and forth. That hasn't happened.
That's correct.
Judge, that Mr. Adams is correct. I do apologize for the informality. I am not 100%, and I was just trying to make sure that I got what the court requested. So I'll delegate to another person on another occasion to do that. But I had my phone in my hand, and I was there, and I wanted to make sure that it got sent. And I'm looking at a Gmail thread that I'm going to try and send to everybody. It looks like this is something that Mr. Wright sent that I can't open in terms of the attachments. I'm just going to forward it.
Okay. And then maybe you could write an email to Mr. Wright and copy everybody and ask the same thing and ask him to respond to everybody.
Yes, I sure will.
Thank you.
Which I think is
What I asked
What
be
you
done
asked.
yesterday, it is.
yes. Otherwise, I could have sent the email. as-
Correct.
as planned.
Yes, I assumed it would be done the way that I instructed.
Let me while I'm thinking about it, Judge, let me say this also. There was reference made to whether or not Mr. Wright or anyone else responded with anything that would be right for an in-camera inspection. So it just occurs to me that on last week is when Mr. Wright was identified by the state as a potential witness. That's when they indicated they subpoenaed him.
Right.
At the time that he became a witness, any correspondences relevant, germane to his testimony would have needed to have been turned over. That would have been their obligation. And so we shouldn't have had to ask for what we asked for yesterday. They should have turned that over automatically once he became a known witness to them. They hadn't done that. And so, I don't know what.
Okay,
what I can
so
ask.
All right, so are y'all keeping up with this right now, man? Basically, they supposed to have been sent emails out. They sitting over there reading off their phone in the court. They like, bro, look, man. Once these motherfuckers knew that he was a known witness, they should have turned over all the stuff they had. It's basically discovery, and how are y'all doing discovery during the damn trial? I'm still. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just the only lost one in the room. But why the hell does it feel like they're doing discovery during the damn trial, and this should have been done pre-trial. You should have already had all this stuff ready by the time y'all got to court. By the time trial started, y'all should have sent every text message. Y'all should have had every transcript ready. Y'all should have had all y'all ducks in a row, knew who the witnesses was going to be. This is the most, I think they're just really wasting everybody's time right now, dog.
Was it Friday that he was identified as, that you put him under subpoena? Or Thursday, I can't remember.
Truthfully, I can't remember. I did tell the court, and
look, she don't even know.
I think on the same day, but I
and she get on my goddamn nerve. This motherfucker right here, she pisses me off the worst in this whole fucking case. I'm seriously, this lady right here is. I see why everybody be going off on her ass, but she is annoying as. I don't like this lady, dog.
Can't remember which day it was.
She don't know shit.
And then it was yesterday that you forwarded all of your correspondence to him. And then yesterday evening that we sorted out the idea that maybe his correspondence back to you should also be included. And I don't think there's anything that I needed to review in camera for Mr. Wright. I think you were just going to share everything, right?
Right. I am. That's all. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. She ain't typing shit. She better be wearing flats too.
Please.
With regard to the attorneys for the other defendants who have pled, co-defendants who have pled, as far as I know, those attorneys are not under subpoena or planning to be called by the state at this point, correct?
No.
Okay.
No.
So we're sort of in a different situation with regard to them.
Yet I still believe, Your Honor, that we are entitled to get those emails if there's any exculpatory material.
Ms. Love can either share them fully or I can do an in-camera inspection.
And Your Honor, for reasons that may or may not be apparent, I would prefer the in-camera inspection in terms of, I don't think that there is any circumstance that anybody said.
Okay, we'll just get them
Yes.
gathered together and get them forwarded to the court, please.
Thank you. Yes, Your Honor.
And I'll make them a part of the record regardless.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. For a matter that I want to discuss as a bench matter.
I thought that was Hassan Campbell for us. That nigga looked like Hassan Campbell when he sat down. But they don't know what the hell they doing. What kind of shoes you got on today, man?
I just sent to everybody everything that he sent to me.
All right.
And requested that and I think the first one I failed to include Mr. Wright on. So I included the email that I just sent to everybody in that last one.
Okay.
And when the court instructs, I will approach.
All right. Well, I'll give everybody a few minutes to take a look at what just got forwarded.
In Your Honor,
Yes.
is there any way the court can order a date certain by which we will get these emails or any communication that occurred between the state and the prior attorneys for those defendants that took pleas, given that most of those pleas were, not all of them, of course, but most of them were a year and a half ago? I'm not saying the end of this week, but if we could just get a date, Your Honor.
Well, I don't know that you're going to get any of them.
Oh my God.
I mean, I'm going to take a look, and if they're...
You can't be like, it's like this is not real, bro. This got to be like a Tubi script or something, bro. Like, I can't wait till the Tubi movie come out about this damn trial.
there's anything...
I don't have confidence that we're going to get any of them either, but if any exist that we should be provided with, if we could just have some type of a deadline, Your Honor.
How long do you need to go through and find correspondence with the other attorneys?
Since we're going to be in court tomorrow, I think I can go.
What? We're going to be in court tomorrow. We're just not going to have the jury tomorrow.
That's what I said.
Okay.
Since we're going to be in court tomorrow,
The judge slow, they slow.
I apologize. apologize. I'm still not quite loud as I should be, but I'll give them to the court. If the court will allow me till tomorrow at noon so that I can get them all to the court.
That'll be fine.
Thanks.
And this nigga real touchy feely. He real Hassan over there real touchy feely, cuz.
Love that you just forwarded. Are the attachments the same on both, or is this two different sets of attachments?
Two different sets of attachments. He sent me
Okay.
one that pertained only to the negotiations, and then he sent a second email that he said
Was other things not related to this?
one was related to the 2015 case, and then one was related to, I haven't read it in its entirety, but it's some attachments I can't open. He said he sent them this weekend or something.
This weekend?
Oh my God, this weekend. Child, man, double tap the, let's get to 500 likes, y'all. Double tap that screen. Let's get to 500 likes, man. I don't know what the hell going on. Go ahead and spark up another, one, y'all. Spark up another one. Go ahead and pour up another shot, y'all. Come on.
I might have that wrong. I just sent what he sent me. It's just what he sent.
Okay.
What? What the fuck did she just say? Hold on.
I haven't read it in its entirety, but it's some attachments I can't open. He said he sent them this weekend or something.
This weekend?
I might have that wrong. I just sent what he sent me. It's just what he sent.
Okay.
Child. I came with these slow ass people. I might have that wrong, but it's just
Your Honor,
just forget it. Just don't worry
Mr.
about it.
Wright appears to have sent some, well, I don't really know, but based on what's been forwarded, Mr. Wright appears to have sent perhaps a PDF that's more an image of the email, and which does not actually contain the attachments themselves.
Wait, it's an image of the email that doesn't contain the attachment. So the nigga sent you a screenshot cut? In layman's terms, that nigga sent you a screenshot cut? Hold on.
Themselves. However, since at least the one I'm looking at, which is from Saturday, September 7th, 2024 at 9:52 a.m. That reads from Derek Wright to Adrian Love. Looks like we had original, then 3 updates. Also my notes. Honestly, not sure my testimony will be helpful. There's 5 attachments there. We obviously, since it's just an image, we can't see those attachments.
Okay.
But since the email was sent to Ms. Love, I'm not sure if she'd already provided that one from Saturday morning at 9:52 a.m. But if not, could we have the actual email sent to us?
We'll have Mr. Wright here in court with us very shortly, so we can just bring him in before we call the jury in and let him know that we need it in a different form so that we can read.
But I believe Ms. Love will have that since it was an email from Derek Wright to Ms. Love Saturday morning.
Okay, so this would have been over the weekend with regard to his testimony, I guess. So can you find those and forward them?
Lord have mercy. They don't got none of their shit together. They don't. That's where we left off at yesterday. They literally don't got none of. I'm talking about they don't got a lick of anything prepared for this damn trial.
So
They don't got nothing. Now let's get to day 127, y'all. That's how 126 ended. Let's get to day 127.
something happened overnight in the YSL trial, and it is so the jury is not in today. They have a non-jury day today. And so they started the morning with doing a couple of Rule 22s. They had 2 of them. So they did those pretty quickly. And as they are doing those, you can kind of notice that the seating arrangement has changed. And as the judge is about to start the day, she said, does anybody have any questions about or any concerns about what happened? And Mr. Shard stands up first. And he starts to say, Your Honor, and then the camera's cut off. So nobody knows what happened, but they have completely changed the seating in the courtroom this morning. And it kind of, my perspective is it looks like the most important defendant and the least important defendant have been moved to the front of the courtroom and the other defendants have been moved to the back. So I don't know if that is of why, the issue is of the seating chart or if something happened overnight with the defendants. It's kind of given the energy that something might have happened with the defendants, and they're kind of trying to resolve that issue with them by moving them around, but we are absolutely not sure. I'm in a couple of different feeds, live feeds for the case, and in the comments, nobody is able to kind of identify what the issue is. Normally, the Law and Crime feed has a reporter in the room and they're able to kind of update us during the trial, but there's not even an update from them. So I am so curious as to what is going on and what happened, because the energy in the room is quite heavy. The judge is very snippy this morning, so whatever it is, she seems to be kind of quite annoyed about it, but we don't know what's going on at this current time. So keep your eyes and ears.
What the fuck is going on in this YSL trial? They moving, they switching seats, they playing hot potato with the damn seats, man. These people crazy as hell in this damn case.
As it relates to...
Now, the judge tells state attorney to show proof and evidence that members of YSL committed crimes for dominance of the YSL gang. State Attorney Love has a hard time explaining actual evidence that she claims she has that makes YSL a street gang. Judge asked Attorney Love show proof of her claim. Man, this woman ain't got no damn proof. She don't know what the fuck she doing. She don't know what the hell she doing, dog. She gonna fumble the whole case for them. But let's go ahead and tune into this, y'all.
Mr. Ryan, or just in general?
In general, since the argument is this is done to protect members of YSL and
To assert their
assert the dominance of YSL.
Okay.
Come on, lady, let's go. Let's get to talking.
Since an overact does not have to be a crime, I'll just name them, of course. So number 9, where Defendant Williams asserts in one of his songs, YSL.
No, that is not what I mean. I don't mean saying you're going to do something. I mean actual assaults on people.
She's like, hold on, let me get back to the drawing board. Hold on.
Mr. Holmes's death
I had a lyric that said it. Hold on. So if the lyric can't count, hold on. What else I got in my bag? Let me reach in my bag of receipts.
is alleged by the state to have been a murder of someone that they believe to have been a member of a rival gang.
All right, so I'm sorry. I mean, I guess maybe, so because it's a rival gang, that would be dominance.
Yes.
And that's a verdict, what, 79 or 69?
And I can also even be more precise there as I look for that number 79 or 69. Mr. Drinks's murder is alleged to have been a direct retaliation for the death of 2 people who were associates.
Your Honor,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to
69.
determine what you're asking. Are you asking what the indictment alleges?
What
Is-
overt acts?
Well, the indictment, as I understand it, just broadly alleges that the overacts are done to that for those purposes. The indictment broadly alleges several purposes and doesn't delineate which overacts are designed to do what. So the answer, as far as I understand your question, would be all of them. They've alleged all of them.
But I mean, I'm asking the state sort of what, I appreciate that position.
The
but
judge don't know what the fuck
think
to
I
say.
mean it a little bit differently than that. And yeah, sure, they could end up saying every one of these does all of these things, but I'm kind of asking them to be focused on aggravated assaults, obviously, or worse, murder, that are for these very specific purposes.
So to answer your question about the number for that murder, it was overact number 79.
All right.
Also,
Murder number
the
79?
acts on for 28.
She said, what number? She don't, this don't know. This don't know. She don't know a damn thing. She's like, what number was? I thought it was 79. What the, listen to this shit.
The act on for 28.
Do you remember
By
that?
Mr. McMullen.
She don't even know the damn name. She don't look. She fidgeting on. She don't know the name, what number murder it is, what date it happened.
Okay, yeah.
Somebody come get their auntie.
All right, that's fine.
The
judge fed up. She's like, okay, that's just fine. Whatever.
Mr. Garlington, Mr. Sledge.
Somebody come get their auntie, cuz.
Those.
Somebody come get their auntie out the courtroom, cuz.
That act of shooting Mr.
Lord have mercy, get it together, sis.
We're talking about things like rival gang type.
Nobody in the courtroom knows what she's talking about. The judge don't know what she's talking about. Her team don't know what she's talking about. The goddamn people over here don't know what she's talking about. The defendants, nobody knows in this courtroom what this damn lady talking about. They jumping up with the, so you mean, are you talking about murders that happened during the Rico? Before? She don't know what the hell to say. Salute D. Pris for another honey bun. Salute to the king. Remember to double tap your screen. Salute, gang. Salute to D. Miss Prissy. Salute to Miss Prissy. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, boo. We had 3:55 for the live. Let's go, gang. Let's go. Let's get back to this.
My understanding of what the court said
I
is
just
what
want to know
acts
what the state's position is.
that were done to acts of violence done to promote either the notoriety
Either
or to
protect
protect.
the members of YSL or to promote the dominance of YSL.
So the shooting, we believe, by Mr. Winfrey of Lil Wayne's tour bus, which would have been a different one. It's encapsulated in 39 and 40. The shooting of Mr.
She don't even know the names. She don't know who the fuck shot who.
Mr. Murphy.
Lord save this lady.
On April the 12th.
And we need 50 people to double tap that screen. Double tap your screen. 50 people. Let's go. 50 people double tap that screen.
Overt acts where members or alleged members of YSL are basically doing a beat down of anybody because somebody from YSL got threatened or attacked.
We have other ones where they're shooting at other members, and we have where they, for instance, Mr. Kendrick and Mr. Arnold go out and plan to shoot somebody because.
All right, well, y'all see if you can find me some more on point factually case law, please.
Okay.
And
Is
I
the
know
court,
y'all want a decision, but we're
yeah.
gonna come back to it yet again.
And Your Honor, in terms of the number of acts that we've enumerated in here, does the court want specifics or just the number?
No, that's fine. I mean, you've told me enough. That's fine.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like that's critical to my determination. I just was.
The judge don't even want to
there
talk
were
about it
so
no more.
many that this was something that would really be cumulative, but it doesn't sound like you really have anything that similar to this.
And as well, Judge, in terms of judging whether or not something is substantially more prejudicial than probative, it would have to, I think I've said before, it would need to tend to sway the jury to.
Someone said, why would I move from Fulio? Nigga, shut the fuck. Ain't nobody talking about no goddamn Fulio tonight. Shut your bitch ass up. Get off the channel. Anybody here to argue with your bitch ass about it? We talking about YSL. Don't worry about what the fuck we talking about, motherfucker, because we talking about it, bitch. Now shut up.
The defendants on a ground different than something that has been alleged in the indictment. And given the allegations that we've made, we don't believe that this comes near that category of cases or circumstances as well, Judge. I know the court is aware, but just to put it out there, 403 is all of these rules of evidence are rules that favor admission. And so 403 is not to be used as been alleged to limit the state's ability to present evidence so much as it is a permissive statute that under very rare circumstances should be used to exclude relevant evidence. And the mere fact that a defendant may feel that, oh, the state has too much evidence against me is not one of those circumstances that the courts have recognized.
So actually do speak about prosecutorial need.
Someone said, do I think they're trying to throw this? I don't think they have it. I'm being serious. I don't think they have a case. The more I listen to this shit, the less I believe they actually have any evidence that these people did anything. What I've seen so far does not make me believe that this Rico is going to be what they think it's going to be. I think all these motherfuckers coming home, to be real.
To the extent that the argument throughout is that YSL is a gang, that everything that has been, that YSL is a music label, that everything anybody does is just their own independent act that has nothing to do with YSL from day one, from openings throughout up to even now. The assertion by every defendant is, and even the witnesses, I did it for myself, by myself. Every step of the way, the state is having to rebut that assertion that this is just me. I'm a criminal, but they aren't. Okay. So to the extent that there's no one here willing to stipulate that crimes are being committed by them and others with whom they've conspired to promote or on behalf of YSL, the state has a very strong need to present evidence of one, concerted efforts to commit the acts that we've alleged, to show the conspiracy between the defendants, and to show the purpose behind their concerted efforts.
All right, thank you.
And she's so sick of Miss Love. Miss Love. I'm so sick of her bad built ass, man. I'm so serious. But this lady done got on my damn nerves throughout this whole fucking trial. I am sick of hearing from her. She really blowing the she was the wrong person to hire for this shit. I'm be real. She was the wrong person to hire for this damn job.
You right there. Whitaker said you're asking the court to undo the ruling that we just ruled on 5 minutes ago. This is exactly what Charlotte's been talking about. That's why I didn't come to y'all yet, because I have been screaming all afternoon. Now, what is actually going on, and it ain't even afternoon for me yet. What's going on is, like Sharp said, this is nauseating. We are relitigating things that have already been ruled on just because she didn't get the answer she wanted. And again, as soon as she says she gets a ruling, then here, as soon as Whitaker gives a ruling, Whitaker literally sat there for 3.5 minutes, letting her in as much as she wanted to, just to turn around and say, with respect to the court's ruling. No, it's not respect to the court's ruling. You don't have respect for the court's ruling. You don't have respect for the court's instructions. You don't have respect for the court's time. You don't have respect for anything. You don't even have respect for your own damn license. At this point in time, we are still talking about Sledge. We're back on these emails from Ray because, for lack of better words, Love is throwing a tantrum. They're not cooperating with me. My witnesses aren't saying what I want them to say, and I need to be able to show the jury some very prejudicial evidence so I can help them believe that these people should be cooperating with me. It's my toy. I have never wanted to slap the piss out of anybody so bad, but the way that you're embarrassing yourself at this point, Adrian, go get in the mirror and slap yourself.
Look, everybody done had it up to here with this damn lady. I'm talking about, they said that lady just needs to go look at herself in the mirror and just slap the piss out of herself. Damn, Kai.
Okay, so I'm sitting in my car eating lunch, and I've been listening a little bit to...
It says, why are we having all these hearings in the middle of a trial? Why does it look like the state is putting together their case mid-trial because they are. And that's what I'm telling y'all, dead ass. This is the first time in history that we've actually witnessed people working, well, not working, what they're putting together a case, like they're actually working while they're supposed to be on trial, basically proving their case. Instead of proving their case, they're actually trying to work the case. This is the first time in history we're looking at a RICO where they're working the case while they're on trial.
The trial while I was driving, because I have to go to another county that's about an hour away from where I normally am. But I have seen a lot of people asking questions about, like, why are we doing all these hearings right now? Why are they all happening in the middle of trial? Why do we have to keep taking week-long breaks in the middle of this trial in order to have all these evidentiary hearings on issues that should have been resolved before this trial began? And I do know the answer to that, and it's pretty easy, so I'm going to explain. So what's behind me here is a portion of the Georgia statutory speedy trial, which is different than constitutional speedy trial. I have a video about that in my YSL playlist if you want to know a little bit more about what I mean when I say constitutional versus statutory speedy trial. But as a reminder, Georgia statutory speedy trial means that the case needs to be tried if you filed this demand, and you don't have to file the demand, but if you do, then the case needs to be tried, or a jury needs to be impaneled within 2 terms of court. And that is 2 terms of court from the time of the initial indictment. And you don't have a right to demand speedy trial until you've been indicted on the case in Georgia, I believe. And that is just statutory, not constitutional. And what happens if your case isn't tried in these times, in this amount of time? Then the defendant shall be absolutely discharged and acquitted for the offense, which means you're acquitted, they can't go forward. So what does that have to do with all of these hearings that we keep seeing? Well, as you can see from how long all of these hearings are taking to do, if, you know, a statutory speedy trial demand was on file, then you have to start the trial and impanel a jury within 2 terms of court. So in order to impanel a jury, you have to just get going, right? If they had done a series of pretrial hearings where they had gotten rulings on all the things that we've been seeing during these jury breaks, that would have absolutely pushed anybody with a statutory speedy trial on demand outside of 2 terms of court, and then the defendant would have been acquitted. So not everybody has the statutory speedy trial on demand. Young Thug does, and maybe one other person, I keep forgetting the answer to this. But obviously they want to try Young Thug with everybody else because their whole theory revolves around Young Thug. They could try these other people on the RICO without Young Thug at the trial, but whatever their theory is, which is still unclear to me, does obviously revolve around Jeffrey Williams. And so if you had attempted to conduct all these pretrial hearings and evidentiary rulings, I mean, I'm referring to them as pretrial because you would want to do those before the trial started. Obviously, you can do them in the middle of the trial. But if you had all these hearings prior to starting the trial, prior to picking a jury, you never would have gotten through those in 2 terms of court. So that is why you see the state figuring out their case as they go along, because that's literally what they're doing, because they don't know what evidence is going to be admissible. You know, they have their theories that they never really seem to articulate, which you see going on today. But they're just developing them as they go along because they had to proceed this quickly without getting rulings from the court about what was going to be admissible in order to skate in under the statutory speedy trial demand. So that's why you see this.
Basically, they don't got shit. They just work, like I said, they work in this case as we speak. They just go into work every day and start working the case. They don't got a damn thing together on this damn case, to be real. Let's go.
You'll know who it's going to be.
We should know within the next few weeks, within 2 weeks, Sean.
Well, 2 weeks from now is the end of October, so the end of September. Trying to rush that along.
Remember, we do want to have an opportunity to go through the state what evidence they believe will actually be admissible. Right now, we've got more than 50 pages of records from Mr. Blaylock, co-defendant.
Double tap that screen, get the likes up, y'all.
200 pages from Mr. Ryan. Those are obviously issues we'd rather not sit down with the court and go page by page, but if we need to, then we will.
And I believe there was some preliminary conversation, and we do intend on furthering or finishing those conversations with Ms. Abbasi and Ms. Delory.
Okay, well, that probably needs to get done before the end of next week.
They were ready for Ms. Abbasi.
We can. We've also found it fruitful to communicate via phone, which we've done that as well.
All right, well, try to do it in a timely manner, please.
We don't believe the detective will be able to lay the foundation for these charges.
All right.
We believe that with some conversation, he can talk about the fact that the victim was said, that is the victim, that he was it was his homicide that he was investigating. The picture, which I believe is 2RR, with just the area in which the before it's shaved, I believe that he could talk about where the bullet was, or that he was dead. And then the last photo, I'm not sure if he'll be able to say it was an entrance wound. We'd have some further conversations with him regarding whether or not he was present during the autopsy or not, and whether or not
Do you think that there's any chance he was present during the autopsy?
Sometimes they are.
Was he present at the scene before the body was removed?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe so.
Based on the police report, the officer received a phone call at 6:07 requesting assistance to the homicide. The victim had already been taken to Brady in ambulance 571. He's pronounced dead at Brady at 6:10.
Okay, so if he was at the scene, he wouldn't have seen the victim at the scene, so that wouldn't be helpful with regard to these photos.
Avoid the ME, so if we can have some stipulations to that, or we can have the ME come in for
All right.
100% purpose.
Why don't y'all get together? I'm going to hand these back for now and come up. Maybe you could come up with all sorts of stipulations.
God damn, they don't got. I'm talking about not a piece of nothing that we've seen. They haven't convinced nobody of anything. Has anybody over here been convinced that they are guilty? Anybody?
So Lil Rod got caught with contraband, and that is why they moved sitting around in the YSL trial.
So there you go. They got caught with more contraband. They still moving drugs. It's like y'all could really beat this shit, but y'all just in jail still being. I was gonna say the word, but y'all can say it in the chat. Y'all still just being foolish. That's all I'm gonna say.
They want to be able to make sure that they can watch him. And they're also talking about his case, the one that is in appeal right now. So it was best for them to just move him to the front so they can keep an eye on him. I'm not sure why they moved Young Thug to the front. I personally think it's a very big distraction because Steele is very sociable, talkative to the other attorneys. So they are always coming up to him to discuss things and put stuff in together. And so it's very distracting to have him up at the front, especially where the camera crew doesn't have to like move their camera to go to the back to look at them. So they are less distracting in the back. Some people are saying that it was because they think that it makes him look like the leader. If that was the strategy, they should have did that before now. So that's just my 2 cents on that. I don't think it's a good move, but they switched things around because of Lil Rod. And he's the youngest of everybody, and he's already gotten caught doing stuff in the jail in the first place. So him getting caught with contraband, I think, again, because I don't think it's the first time, is no big whoopee. It's not the first time. It might not be the last because he's the youngest of everybody.
Yeah, so they still got these boys moving drugs, and while they incarcerated, while they fighting the damn Rico, they got the dudes moving drugs while they fighting the damn Rico. So make sure y'all double tap that like button. Make sure y'all double tap that like button, man. That's a big ass. Yeah, that girl had a big ass bonnet on. Keep it a buck. Let's continue.
Again, Miss Abbasi is my kind of woman. Miss Abbasi stood up and said, "Listen, Your Honor, we have 191 overt acts. Ms. Love is saying that this is necessary to complete her story, but I'm quite confident that by the time we get to the end of these 191 overt acts, the story would have been told, and she won't even need this." Listen, my good sis says she doesn't think there's any prosecutorial need to be coming up with these issues, and she's right. Miss Love, why are you adding things to your plate? You should be full. Mr. Abbasi said this information is cumulative and it's a waste of time. Please tell her, because Miss Love's been in front of my screen for about 30 to 45 minutes arguing this case. And when I tell you she has not made one point, word salad is what we're going to say it was. Word salad. Yo, Miss Abasi said clearly there was enough evidence for an indictment. So if she wanted to indict this, she could have. They did not. So I'm not understanding why now they're coming at, this happened in 2023. They're coming back now trying to go ahead and add it. It's not making sense. Miss Abasi said the math ain't mathing for her. Not Miss Love getting up on this stand and saying that we have to sit through all of this foolishness because her burden is so high. I'm just going to go with the fact that you make us sit through this evidence because you don't have a case. And so you feel like the more you can pile on, the better it's going to be for you, when it's actually given the opposite.
And you're just piling up bullshit on top of bullshit at this point. I'm going to be real, man. Lady, I really think the lady should retire. Like, this case, it either fire her or retire her.
So
one of the two, because I'm being serious. At this point, this lady ain't got a damn leg to stand on.
something happened overnight.
I already played this one. How did I send myself that shit twice? I sent myself that shit twice. My bad. All right, let's continue.
I just have to address one thing. And
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a whiner. This is exhausting because every time we are on the same page and Your Honor seems to direct us, things somehow get relitigated.
Baby Shard is over it. I am too.
Or are we talking?
No, what I wanted to talk about right now is the actual final plea
Okay,
acknowledgement.
so I'll address that.
Okay.
We all talked about this and we determined what would be admissible as prior inconsistent statements. And the state was allowed to read and confront, and he acknowledged that he signed. So he never said he didn't sign those things. He explained it. But those factual acknowledgments on the 1AS, which I think is 444Y, were read into the record, fully litigated. And we not only heard from Mr. Sledge, but then we heard from Mr. Sledge's attorney for a day. And the whole process of how everything happened was covered ad nauseum. I think the jury gets it. Get to that yet, but we've discussed this and now we're back to arguing about it again.
I don't actually know that we discussed 444Y 1AS.
Well, the state sought to admit it at one point, is my recollection, and you instructed the state to ask about the ones he was denying, and they confronted him and they said, this is what you're denying, factual acknowledgement. I'm using example 3, and then it was read, and then it was discussed, and then we went from one to the other to the other. The state was certainly not rushed in their examination of Mr. Sledge. So all this has been covered. There's no need to admit the document into evidence at this time. And it's cumulative, but also it should never go back to the jury to begin with. So I don't even know what purpose it would serve at this point.
Well, we can deal with that later, what goes and what doesn't go and what's subject to a continuing witness objection. But it's definitely a prior inconsistent statement. Y'all were given an opportunity to cross him on it. He was given an opportunity to explain it. It can come in as extrinsic evidence. Every bit of this is true, and I acknowledge every bit of this. He testified inconsistently to that.
Of course you're gonna let it in. Of course.
Man, these people, boy, when I say this is not, I'm serious, they don't got a case. They don't got a case, man.
How you get a fish license? So I gotta stop? Got the ID on you? Yeah, it's in the car. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Alright, can you hold this? Thank you. I don't remember it is. I did not know you had to have a license. Really?
Woody needs to stay his ass at home. Woody need to stay his ass in the house.
Live around here? Nah, I don't. Huh? You got a fish? I'm in trouble, Tom? Huh? I'm in trouble? Well, it's against the law not to have a fishing license. There is that. Well, I ain't see no sign that said that. Right. That's the law. So anywhere you go, you got to have a license to fish. That's right. That's just private property. You got permission from the land. I thought it was a public park. It is public. Oh, okay. I never be fishing again after today. Good, you gotta have fishing license.
Man, your boy Woody out here loose, y'all.
It might be in my other car. I got a picture in my phone though. Of my ID. Okay, that's what you got. Alright.
Woody is out here loose, y'all. Woody needs to see a dermatologist. I don't know what Woody got going on, cuz. I'm gonna be real, Woody. Looking like that trial eating your skin up, cuz. I'm gonna be real with you, dog. I'm gonna be real with you, Woody, man. I don't know what you need to get some sort of treatment going on there, thug. Damn, Woody. The fuck happened to you, cat? Wait, Woody out here looking bad, cat. Damn, Woody, cat. Well, Woody out here struggling, dog. And Woody shaving himself with a dry razor. I don't know what Woody got going on, cuz? Damn, Woody. Meanwhile, while all this bullshit going on, Woody out there fishing without a license and damn near going to jail for... What you in for, dog, fishing without a license? Come on, Woody. Boy, Woody, just stay home, Woody. Damn, you always clout chasing, dog. Sit your ugly ass in the house, cuz. Damn, sit your little ugly ass down somewhere, dog. Let's go.
Man!
Speaking of ugly, god damn, boy, y'all boys in Atlanta, boy.
I tell you this. That motherfucking Georgia DA, them, they know they fucked up with the Young Thug trial. They know they fucked up royally. But them folks point out today in court, and this is all they've been talking about, is how they can impeach every fucking witness for breaking the rules of the agreement, man. These folks point out by law for all you motherfuckers talking about they can't do that, and the case law brief showing that if a witness / motherfucking person that's cooperating with the state signs an agreement, in that agreement, it is places in that agreement that states, if this witness do not get on the stand and corroborate everything that's in this affidavit that they signed, he or she signed, they void their plea agreement and will be prosecuted for all the crime that they have confessed to, man.
So do y'all understand what he's trying to tell y'all? It says YSL trial District Attorney Love is coming for YSL Woody and all you cheese eaters. She showed you the law that says she can take they immunity deals. So basically, either y'all finna start cooperating, like she wants y'all to cooperate, and if y'all don't cooperate like the way she wants y'all to cooperate, some of y'all who got them immunity deals might not be immune to nothing but a jail cell. You finna get real immune to something, dog. Hell no, you ain't getting no immunity, though. You just gonna sit your ass in there. Get accustomed to this shit, brother. You finna sit your ass in a jail cell. She might just start slapping motherfuckers on the wrist with handcuffs. She might start taking these plea agreements away from people. And someone hit me up and said, I believe Thug and his YSL have been threatened. Have threatened the prosecution. How? They are threatening them with proof in all the compromising positions that they have against Attorney Willis and her office. Because of the acts YSL members have hanging over the state's head, I honestly believe they are being blackmailed into throwing the case. If I must say myself, they are doing a great job. I believe so.
These folks say that if you get on this motherfucking stand and change any motherfucking thing that you signed on this document, that's a legal document with a Georgia seal saying that you will be prosecuted under the law of perjury, saying that these things that you were lied about, you're going to jail and your deal gone bye-bye, man. These folks showing that they was out to get Young Thug, but they fucked up because they picked the wrong cheesy motherfuckers that thought they was smarter than them. But these folks that are back go in they plea deal, and boy, they finna fuck these folks off.
Plea deals might be going out the window in the YSL case, gang. These plea deals may be going out the window. What y'all think about that? If she hit him with that, you think they finna start getting their shit together? If she hit him with that, you think they gonna start getting their shit together then?
Mr. Beebe has recently or did plead to the charges in this indictment regarding this all right.
All right, so I'm sorry, timing wise, this is shortly after the robbery or shortly after?
Shortly after the robbery.
Okay.
Something about what was on the clothing.
We believe that this is clothing that we've seen on other YSL members. It's either OTS or on the slime clothing. We've seen, and I think we have a few other posts, Your Honor, with them wearing similar type of clothing, but it has either YSL or related terminology on the clothing. He is representing, we believe, with the clothing on YSL prior to an armed robbery that he commits with.
Okay. I understand you believe that, but until you can give me some basis to believe that.
To believe that the clothing is
that the clothing, yes, it makes it
How they don't know the clothing brand they present?
Any difference whatsoever.
Your Honor, I think I'm probably stating the obvious, but that's not when the armed robbery happened. So
yeah, sounds like it was 2 days before.
Yeah, so I don't know about what Ms. Love just said. This has nothing to do with showing that the armed robbery was somehow gang related. Even if he's wearing that clothing. But Your Honor, regarding the clothing, again, I agree with Your Honor about the ruling, and we'll look at the clothing, but we can get a screenshot and see what someone's wearing. I don't know why we have him rapping and pointing, because that is just
what lots of people unfortunately do these days.
Right.
Your Honor?
Yes.
And further, what clothing is this? Because Miss Hilton, first she said she thought it was one clothing, then it might have been somebody else's clothing. So can you please tell us what clothing line is this?
I can't tell you the clothing line. I can just tell you that the clothing has flat on it. And if we look at his shorts, and this is at timestamp 3:43. I'm using this timestamp, and then I also now want to show the court Act 143 with someone wearing the same similar clothing, and where it's clearly that it says flat.
Tell me this ain't y'all evidence, man. Like, just being serious, this is a serious trial that has everybody's life in jeopardy, and this is y'all defense. Like, this is, look, man, the nigga had the clothes on that said slat, and he committed a robbery. It's gang related.
On the clothing, which is terminology used by
Off subject, but did every male have this living room set? I've seen it too many times.
YSL, so.
Okay, you're showing us where it says this on this clothing.
So on this clothing with the black base, the blue lettering says flat. And then there's also some red items, but we know that the blue lettering says flat.
There's some red
and
items.
I know this, or we believe it is this because.
Do you have him wearing other gang paraphernalia at other times?
That's what I'm pulling up now.
Then that's gonna be sufficient.
Man. I guess they're gonna take that into evidence, but I don't know how strong that is, cause I'm gonna be real, I don't know how strong that shit is.
Man, I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm I'm watching the YSL trial, and some of you motherfuckers gonna say you didn't hear it and you didn't see it. But all thing you gotta do is go to law and crime, man. These folks pointed out in court today that any motherfucker, no matter what kind of deal you got, immunity or motherfucking just some kind of deal, you can be impeached if you get on the stand and change your motherfucking word that you signed on an affidavit swearing that you gonna tell the truth and the whole truth so help you God. You signed a document saying that everything that you wrote or just signed that is true and factual. And they said that they, under certain rules and laws, and the motherfucking DA and the judge agreed, that all these motherfucking cheesy ass witnesses violated their motherfucking plea deals, man. And the DA, Miss Love, she pointed out that she don't give a fuck about what's going on with Young Thug no more. She want the Lil Woody and these other motherfuckers to pay. And she pointed out of the motherfucking law book, case by case, where they can do what they finna do. They gonna prosecute each one of these motherfuckers for the crime that they confess to, because guess why? If you get on the stand and tell a motherfucking lie, and these folks said the case that they had was, these folks testified 2 different times and they used their own video evidence of them testifying in court 2 different times to impeach their ass. So YSL Woody, your ass either going in a bag or your ass going down White Street, and them folk gonna put your ass in a bag.
So they saying they finna come for Woody. They thinking that Woody is the one running around this bitch like he ain't got nothing to lose. But they saying Woody finna have his ass up out of there, dog. I don't know what y'all think about that.
Man, I keep telling you wannabe ass lawyers that you don't know what the fuck you talking about. If you think them folk gave these folks like Lil Woody, minimum deals, and these other cheesy motherfuckers plea deals that they couldn't take back, the judge and the DA finna break it down to you silly motherfuckers that Lil Woody ass is going to the motherfucking jail, man.
A witness may be impeached by disproving the facts testified to by the witness. Right. The reason I referenced that only is because it was in the book that I'm reading from. There's a section that I'm looking at. So, particularly, a witness may be impeached by contradiction in several ways. Close questioning to elicit concessions of errors in testimony during direct, questioning a witness about the substance or implications of evidence already produced during the case to suggest contradictions, confronting the witness with his or her own contradictory prior statements, or calling another witness, or introducing other extrinsic contradicting evidence. Generally speaking, the admission of extrinsic evidence for contradiction impeachment is restricted to non-collateral matters, so that evidence that impeaches by contradiction and is not collateral can be both substantively admissible as well as admissible for its impeachment value. And that is coming from Behler, B-E-H-L-E-R versus Hanlon, H-A-N-L-O-N, 199 F-R-E.
So that's her telling them right there that they can go to jail for lying. They not cooperating and doing what she want them to do, so she finna send their ass to jail, okay?
And enough.
She finna send their ass to jail. All right, so that's the ones that I hold
You
on.
sorry?
All right, that's that one. All right, so let's get to this one now. No, that's this one. All right, let's go. Let's go.
Then they talked about Rodelius Ryan, and I guess there was a situation where somebody took something from his commissary.
YSL, but the fact that you have other members of YSL acting on behalf of Mr. Ryan to support him in a violent way against another person whom they alleged only messed with Mr. Ryan's commissary, stabbing him just because he messed with Mr. Ryan's commissary, show the extent to which members of YSL go to assert their dominance, even in a situation like the Rice Street jail. And to protect one another, to show that you don't mess with one of our own.
Now they're saying that this is a part, that this should come in as evidence because this is a crime. So she's trying to prove that YSL is a gang because they were helping their friend who was basically taken advantage of. It's just a big mess. It is really just a big mess. And I don't know what the purpose of today was, but I don't really think they got very far.
Yeah, I don't know. After everything we've looked at today, it's like, well, what the fuck did y'all accomplish today in this damn trial? What the fuck is this?
All right, y'all. I apologize. I had a few meetings that I had to handle, but even though today was pretty boring and there were a lot of things that still don't have a ruling, no matter how old they are, here's where we are. Jury will be back tomorrow, so we'll be back in testimony. And it looks like the next few, no Zachary, but it looks like basically what we're running into now is like forensics, detectives, cops, things of that nature are going to be the next set of witnesses. Yeah, ain't no Zachary. Now, shout out to Thugger Daily to make sure I didn't miss any points, but I think most of this we've already spoke on. But I did want to make sure that I was breaking up the points about Lil Rod because it's actually in 3 separate parts, and I think we only went over 2 so far. Or I want to make sure that 2 things aren't getting put together. So there's still no ruling on. We're still going over some of these wiretaps. Again, we have stuff like Unk and things of that nature where Harvey had to get up and he got a little loose because he was sick of it. Okay, he even used the word hell today. Okay, he was sick of it. And what basically Harvey is saying is that, listen, just because you believe something doesn't make it a fact, don't make it law, and it definitely don't make it legal. So therefore, what we're not going to keep doing is your belief. And whoever you believe to be, or you believe to be able to do, or be able to represent, or be able to advise, or whatever you think a unk is, I don't care who Demekion Garlington was talking to. You can't identify him. You can't call him a co-conspirator. Let it go. Now, as we know, Love can't take the word no, so she kept trying to relitigate things a few minutes afterwards as if Whitaker didn't get it. And I think Whitaker didn't get it, but Whitaker wasn't, either she on dope dog food or she just deaf, because at this point she's been doing it all day. And she's been doing it all trial. She did it with Glanville, she's doing it with you. You hear her re-arguing the same point and you're letting her have it. But either way, some of the calls came in. A lot of it was excluded. Same thing with the social media posts. The YSL clothing that says slat on it or what have you, she allowed that in. Some things were allowed in, some things were not. Some of the social media posts were not ruled on because she wanted to know if this was a private post or if this was a public post, meaning it was a way to post it to everybody and not just their followers or whomever. Now, when it comes to Lil Rod, a few things. One, the arguments from the motion were about the autopsy pictures in regards to Lil Rod and bringing those in because those will be prejudicial. Of course, somebody see a young person in that manner, it would be definitely a problem. The second thing about Lil Rod, I think which were 2 different motions. The second thing was his actual conviction. Everybody knows that Lil Rod is serving life and that particular conviction is on appeal. But that particular conviction it's odd to me, but Judge Whitaker is actually considering how she can write perfect limiting instructions so that this is only attributed to Lil Rod as an overt act. But if you think about it, he only got one charge, and that's the Rico, and that's the one charge that everybody has, right? So if that's the one charge that everybody has and he gets found guilty of it, then that means they find there is a reason for the RICO conspiracy to be guilty. Therefore, everybody's guilty already. How can you limit that? What can you say to somebody to tell them only consider this for him, but what is considered for him is what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? It's for everybody. Now, the other thing, let me double check myself. The intrinsic acts. These also have to do with Lil Rod because he's trying to use Lil Rod to prove that they're furthering the conspiracy, okay? So we see why Lil Rod is sitting in there. He's the pawn. He's the sacrificial pawn. She don't care nothing about him. In her mind, he already doing life. So all she gotta do is leave him to be the pawn. Uses autopsy pictures to absolutely disgust and have an utter shock in all the jury, right? Then you bring in his conviction to show that he's been, to bring in some pieces of that conviction and that trial that show that he did this in the name of YSL, because you can make it so, right? And then you turn around and say, and by the way, he went to jail and all of these things happened. Pokings happen. You know, you mess with him and they're all coming because they're going to save him because he did things in the name of YSL. So they're going to always have his back. So it was just a little bit of commissary, but they all came and they poked on somebody to help him, to further him, to take care of him because of what he did for YSL. I digress. I digress. Now, when I say there was old news, y'all remember Love tried to say that she could take the new stuff, these new intrinsic acts, which she had like 70 of them, 71 of them, and add those to the 191 overt acts. And she can put this all together. So even if it's not on that indictment, remember I made the analogy that she thought she could put a book in and just leave a few pages blank so she can finish the story. She's trying to do that with this, what happened after they were in jail, right? So what Love is trying to do, she said, remember she said she had the case law that said that she could not only use the acts afterward, but she could also, that guilty was guilty, even if it wasn't, as long as it was on the indictment, right? Things that were on the indictment, things that were not on the indictment, you could be guilty of all of that. And her case law is supposed to prove that, one, they could be found guilty. Because let's say the only things out of those 191 that they find are an issue, or the only thing these guys get found guilty of are things that are beyond the statute of limitation. That's not a guilty verdict because it's beyond the statute of limitation, but Love is saying it is a guilty verdict and they would have to go to jail on something that's beyond the statute of limitation just because she decided to put it with a RICO 10 years later. And that does not include unaliving, so don't let me get you mixed up there. Then there was also the fact that she's saying, even though it's not on the indictment, you were still furthering the conspiracy. Therefore, if we find you guilty on something you did post-indictment, but while on trial, then you can be guilty in this trial too, without her charging you. Needless to say, today that was brought up again, and she still don't have no damn case law. So that's everything we went over today. Tomorrow we're back with the jury and testimony, and it looks like we're going into cops and forensics, y'all, because Zachary said.
So that's where we're at on the YSL case today. It has been loose and alleged. Loose and alleged, and it probably leaves you more confused than you've ever been. But if you was confused then, hell, you're probably going to be a little confused now. We got the Diddy paperwork also tonight, y'all. Do y'all want to chop it up about Diddy? The diddler himself has been saying he abusive as hell, man. He's been basically they're about to give him another motherfucking case to fight. Diddy has been sued again by Don Richard. Drop the gems if you want to get into this Diddy paperwork tonight, because I got all 55 pages of that paperwork tonight, gang.
Another chapter.
Damn, that's loud. Hold on, okay? Hold on. That's loud as hell.
After the downfall of Diddy, former Danity Kane and Diddy Dirty Money star Dawn Richard is suing Diddy and confirming that she is as well.
Damn, Diddy. Diddy, this might be it for you, cuz. I think this might be the end of P. Diddy, y'all.
Oh, shit. To who it may damn concern. Now that y'all taking me too fast and too much at one damn time. Now I knew that somebody from David Kane was gonna come out. But I really thought it was gonna be Aubrey. And I seen, we all have seen the change that Dawn did have between. But look, this is what's going on right now. Baby, Dawn did put out a lawsuit against Diddy, baby. Yeah. And baby, she alleging the things of the thing. You see, yeah. This may entail into a Cassie situation. When I say Cassie has opened the floodgates, baby. Carisha, somebody need to radio Carisha and tell her if she's still going over there, she need not to go over there no more. Cause I knew something was going on with Dawn. I just couldn't put a finger on it, didn't want to put a finger on it respectfully, you know. But y'all, this is breaking news, y'all. They said stuff was finna keep coming out. They said that. I'm just saying.
We did know that more lawsuits was coming from Diddy. I'm gonna be real. This one kind of shocked me. I didn't see it. I thought it was gonna be Aubrey too first.
Then I started.
And I still think Aubrey is gonna come. I still think Aubrey is gonna come out. But let's get to this real quick, man.
Taking the train, the New Orleans hustle and us, right? I took the train to New York, and I was like, Puff, can I just take the shitty studio, like the small studio, and just write? And he was like, cool on your dime. So I would take the train back and forth, and I would just write. And I would write like 5 to 6 songs a day.
Get the likes up, y'all. Make sure you double tap that screen and get the likes up.
And I would just email it to him. And I did that for 7 months. He didn't have heard from him. He was just like, whatever. And then I got a call, and he was like, oh, yo, I'm doing this group project. It's called Project 27. And I'm thinking about having maybe Brandy and K Young and me. Like, I'm going to do a Soul to Soul vibe. And I'd like you to be one of the writers. And I was like, hell yeah, cool. I'll just be a writer. I won't be an artist anymore. I'll just be a writer. Because, you know, at that time, Esther Dean, all these girls was making mad money as writers. So I was like, cool. So I went to New York, and I just started writing. And I was getting these insane tracks, y'all. Like, tracks you had never heard of. Like, Prince level tracks. And I think about going from Danity Kane. Right. And then getting records from, like, you know, Rodney Jerkins and like all this, like musically gifted like, producers, yeah, like insane. And I was just like, oh my god, like writing. And I'm like, this is. And I would get records, and I would hear this other girl on it, and she was dope. And I was like, I don't know who this is, but this is dope. So I would do my voice with her voice, and then I got a call, and Puff was like, I want you to go to Atlanta and go in the studio with Rodney Jerkins and this girl named Kalina. And I was like, okay. I went in that studio, and I was like, I had never seen excellence at that level. Like, Kalina was so dope to me and so incredible. And they were just doing these sick. We did that for a week, and the records we did together, she inspired me, she motivated me. And again, I had just come from a group where it wasn't that. It wasn't that. We were very much like leftover idea to something that was so next level. And then I got a conference call, like 2 months after that. And then Kalina and I was on the phone. He was like, yeah, so, you know, I'm very grateful for both of y'all. And I want to know, you know, would y'all be in my group? And me and Kalina was like, hell yeah, like, yeah. And after that, I experienced one of the most incredible albums. And I was a part of one of the most incredible albums to this day that has ever been done. And that was Last Train to Paris. And I was a part of Diddy Dirty Money. And that's how and so that made it worse, because then everybody was like, see, we told you she had this thing with Puff, when whole time it was not the case.
They had no idea. The trials and tribulations.
Okay, so you kind of contradicting yourself there, though, Don. I mean, it sounds like you was partying with Diddy. It sounds like she was partying with Diddy. It sounds like you might have been getting done in, and you kind of seen an opportunity and a window open so where you could be like, hey, well, I did see some shit while I was, you know, technically fucking with him. So I could really just go ahead and, because right now it's seeming like you kind of was a participant instead of, it's just me though. It's just me by the vibes of this, because you saying shit like this, then backdooring, oh, he was a monster. And I'm not saying Diddy wasn't. I'm just saying that maybe you just seen the opportunity, and you might be an opportunist right now, Miss Dawn. I don't know though. We gonna continue.
Shore saw another of Diddy's former girlfriends.
Salute Nurse Vaughn. It says Nurse Vaughn home from work. What up, King? Salute to you. I appreciate you. Salute. Thank you for the 20 piece.
With her face all banged up. In 2009, she said she personally witnessed Diddy, high on drugs, throw Cassie against a wall, choke her, and drag her up a flight of stairs in his LA home. Richard says Diddy also hurled a scalding pan of eggs at Cassie while yelling, "I've been asking you for my shit. I can't stand you, bitch. You never do it right." That's not funny. On other occasions, Richard says Diddy socked Cassie in the face and wrapped his hands around her throat, attempting to strangle her inside his LA mansion. At some point, Richard says she and others, including her Diddy Dirty Money bandmate, Kalina Harper, showed their support to Cassie and advised her to leave Diddy, who found out about the conversation and threatened, and I quote, "Y'all bitches don't get in my relationship. Don't tell my bitch what she needs to be doing. Just make money and shut the fuck up. I end artists. I shelve careers you could be missing. You bitches want to die today?" Richard says Diddy once barged into her dressing room while she was naked at his recording studio. She says Diddy inappropriately touched her breasts and butt. She says Diddy also locked her in a car with heavily tinted windows for 2 hours as she screamed for help, even calling her dad for help. Richard claims her dad traveled from Baltimore to New York to free his daughter and confront Diddy, threatening to report him to the police, but she says Diddy told her dad, "Think about your daughter and think about your daughter's career." Some excerpts from the lawsuit that Dawn Richards, former member of Danity Kane and Diddy Dirty Money, has filed against Diddy. And I'm not understanding why this man is not under the jail yet. And basically everybody knew what he was doing to Cassie and nobody spoke up. I don't understand that either. But at this point, why would anybody want to be in Hollywood at this point? Because everybody just, the people in power are shit.
Hollywood is a very strange place, man. I'm gonna be real. Hollywood is a very, very strange place.
Daddy Puffy P Diddy brother love comes. Listen, after these people are done suing you for every penny you owned, you was gonna have to take your ass to jail. And when you finish here, please go directly to hell. Do not pass go and do not collect $200. Much chit chat. Things that we need to know is nothing inside of this shocked me. Danity Kane and the Making the Band people are the next class of people that Diddy harassed after Junior Mafia and them, and after he killed Biggie allegedly. You had to remember that the Making the Band people have been around since at least 2002, okay? They were there before Diddy became Diddy. They know everything. They are dangerous to this man. None of this is shocking. According to Dawn, Diddy followed the same Sherry Denise playbook wherein we promise to make you a star if you just do everything that I say, no matter how psychotic it is. Dawn told us what we already know, and that is that Diddy, quite like Trump, does not speak well of women behind closed doors. Here is where the story gets a little bit juicy. Dawn was around when Diddy was originally introduced to Cassie and saw firsthand the abuse that Diddy put Cassie through. Now imagine my surprise when Dawn tells us in the lawsuit that Kalina was privy to the abuse, because Kalina just told us a couple months ago that anybody who had anything bad to say about Mr. Pop Diddy Pop was just a disgruntled employee. Ma'am, not you trying to hold on to your music career. Dawn even says that at one point, her and Kalina Harper, Diddy Dirty Money, told Cassie, "You got to get away from this man. You got to get out." And Diddy lost his mind. Pop told them, "Listen, you can end up missing. I end careers. Remember Sherry Denise? Yeah, nobody does, because I ended it. Do you want to end up like her?" One goes on to state that at one point she saw Diddy throw a pan of scalding hot eggs at Cassie. He also summons Dawn to his house one time in Miami, and when she showed up, the man didn't have nothing on but his tidy whities. When she asked him to put on clothes, he said, "This is my fucking house." Sir, what went on to tell us at one point Mr. Papa Diddy Pop let himself into her dressing room while she was in her birthday suit and proceeded to touch her boobs and her butt. This man is truly, put him in the cell next to Harvey Weinstein. Sean Puff Daddy Puffy P Diddy brother love comes locked Dawn in a heavily tinted car for 2 hours. Dawn had to call her father. Her father jumped in a car, drove from Baltimore to, I'm assuming, New York to save her daughter. When the man got there, Mr. Papa Diddy Pop looked at Dawn's father and said, "Think about your daughter and think about your daughter's career." He's a sicko.
Man. With that being said, you see what type of shit is in this paperwork? Do y'all see what type of shit is in this paperwork? Oh, man, we got the whole damn shit too, cuz. We got the whole damn thing, man. Do y'all want this damn paperwork, man? Because guess who got it? Your boy Big Ratchet got the paperwork, man. She's suing everybody. Dawn is suing everybody. She said, fuck it, we coming for Sean Combs, Harv Pierre, Remote Productions Inc., New Remote Productions Inc., the Nordlinger Group, LLC, November 15th, LLC, Daddy's House Recording Studio, Bad Boys Entertainment, LLC, Bad Boy Records, LLC, Bad Boy Entertainment Holdings, Inc., Bad Boy Productions Holding, Inc., Bad Boy Books Holding, Inc., The Sean Combs Music, Inc., Sean Combs Capital, LLC, Combs Enterprises, LLC, Universal Music Group, oh shit, Interscope, Geffen, A&M Records, Diego, America's Supply, Inc., DBA, Ciroc, Distilling Company, DBA, Ciroc Canning Company, Combs Wine and Spirits Company, Janice Combs Publishing, Inc., Janice Combs Publishing Holdings, Inc., Sony Songs, a division of Sony Music Publishing, LLC, Love Records, Inc., Epic Records, Doe Corporations, 1 through 10, and Doe Defendants, 11 through 20. Damn, she coming for Diddy bag. She like, shit, yeah, she finna get paid, cuz. I'm gonna be real, she is fixing to get paid. Now, plaintiff Dawn Angelique Richard, by and through her attorneys, Bloom Firm IP Legal Studio LLC, brings this action against defendants. Miss Richard alleges, upon knowledge concerning her own experience, upon information and belief to all that matters, Dawn Angelique Richard, known professionally as Dawn Richard, is an American musician, singer, songwriter, and performer. She gained widespread recognition as a member of the girl group Danity Kane, formed by defendant Sean Combs, and later transitioned into a key member of Mr. Combs' band Diddy Dirty Money. Defendant Sean Combs, a once celebrated hip-hop mogul, popularly known as his stage names Puff Daddy, Puffy, P. Diddy, Diddy, or Love, skyrocketed to fame in the late 1990s and became a powerful and enduring figure in the music and entertainment industry. In 1999, Mr. Combs explained the origins of his stage name in the USA Today interview. His nickname was Puff because he had a temper and was known to huff and puff when he was angry. Over the decades following his rise to fame, Mr. Combs' star-studded, larger-than-life persona overshadowed his vicious temper and pervasive acts of violence directed towards those in his inner circle, specifically women. Mr. Combs' namesake temper frequently manifested in physical violence. Mr. Combs regularly hurled objects in fits of rage, often throwing items such as mobile phones, laptops, food, and studio equipment across the room or at people. On numerous occasions, Miss Richard witnessed Mr. Combs brutally beat his girlfriend, Miss Cassandra, Cassie Ventura. Miss Ventura, his persistent abuse included choking and strangling Miss Ventura, striking her with his hands, with objects, slapping her, punching her, throwing items at her, including scalding hot pan, and I believe she said it was eggs. That nigga threw some hot eggs at Cassie. Man, that nigga Diddy is. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because that nigga crazy. Cuz that nigga needs to be locked up. On many occasions, Miss Richard tried to intervene, offering Miss Ventura support and encouragement to leave Mr. Combs. Each time, Mr. Combs learned of her efforts to help Miss Ventura and became enraged, threatening Miss Richard's life with statements such as, "You want to die today? I make dudes go missing and I end people." Man, compounding Mr. Combs' violent acts such as death threats, he exploited Miss Richards' musical talent as a singer and writer while withholding her rightful earnings, stealing her copyrighted works, and subjecting her to years of inhumane work conditions, which included groping, assault, and false imprisonment. Among other allegations, for nearly a decade, Mr. Combs manipulated Miss Richard with mantras that submission to his depraved demands was necessary for career advancement, instilling in her belief that such abuse and exploitation were required for female artists to succeed in the music industry. It was not until Miss Ventura bravely in coming forward that Miss Richard realized her own personal suffering, like I said, was tied to many years of her abuse by Mr. Combs that had become normalized for her. As more women courageously come forward, plaintiffs have been empowered. This collective strength and now adds her voice in growing chorus of victims bravely sharing their heroic stories together. And they seek justice and stand in solidarity and the latest victims of the Me Too movement in the music industry. Parties. Ms. Dawn Angelique Richard is a resident of the state of California and was employed by the defendant Remote Productions Inc. and New Remote Productions Inc. Bad Boy Whoopty Whoopty. She's giving all them damn whoopty whoopty whoop. I already said all that shit. Defendant Combs, upon information and belief, resides within the state of California at all relevant times. Mr. Combs met the definition of an employer of Miss Richard under all relevant statutes. Defendant Harv Pierre, Mr. Pierre, upon information and belief, resides within the state of New Jersey at all times with Bad Boy Entertainment Records. They're just giving pretty much a rundown of where everybody is located. We don't need to go over all the locations of the companies. I'm just gonna skim through this because it's 55 fucking pages, and right now we only on page 5. But Sean Combs, under Miss Richard, was employed by Defendant Combs upon information and belief. Sean Combs' music was part of a successor. Okay, this is giving basically rundown of Ciroc, giving a rundown of Janice Combs, giving a rundown of the publishing holdings, giving a rundown of Love Records. We don't need to see all that, man. We just need to get to the juicy shit. Okay, let's get to Miss Richard is selected to be in Mr. Combs' all-female music group, Danity Kane, after competing on MTV's Making the Band. In or around 2004, Miss Richard was selected to participate in season 3 of MTV Network's reality television show Making the Band. The show centered around the formation and development of new musical group and the mentorship of Mr. Combs. The contestants will compete and be chosen by Mr. Combs to form a band, which will go on to create albums and perform. For aspiring artists like Miss Richard, Making the Band represents a concrete path to a career in the entertainment industry. Miss Richard appeared in seasons 3 and 4 of Making the Band, which first aired in 2005, and season 5 of Making the Band, which aired in 2009. Out of thousands of contestants, Miss Richard, along with approximately 12 other women, were selected to participate in season 3 of Making the Band. 5 women, including Miss Richard, were ultimately chosen to be in the group Danity Kane, which was named by Miss Richard. Prior to and including the first Danity Kane album, Making the Band was filmed entirely at Diddy's house recording studio at Whoopty Whoopty Whoop in New York. Making the Band content that focused on Danity Kane work on the album Welcome to the Dollhouse was filmed at Daddy's house, Mr. Combs' Miami residence. The band episodes included Los Angeles as their third filming location. Salute to Sick With It for that 20-piece McNugget. I appreciate you, Sick With It. Salute. We getting back to this damn paperwork, man. We at $3.95. We $5 away from 4 honey buns, y'all. We $5 away, y'all. Upon information and belief to create Making the Band, camera crews filmed 20. Excuse me, my shit just went out. Camera crews filmed 24 hours a day, gathering months worth of footage to condense into mere hours of entertainment for viewers. Danity Kane released its self-titled album in August of 2006 and its second album, Welcome to the Dollhouse, in March of 2008. Danity Kane's first album sold over 4 million copies. Miss Richard damages to Miss Richard for unpaid salaries are estimated at about 1 million. Danity Kane's second album, Welcome to the Dollhouse, sold about 2 million copies, and she wants unpaid royalties for about 500,000 of that. Salute Nails by Felicia for that 5-piece. I appreciate you, boo. Salute. She wants 100K for that. And she said Danity Kane are estimated at $1.8 million. Let's see, Mr. Combs fired bandmate Aubrey O'Day and Juanita D. Woods from Danity Kane on live television at the height of his fame in 2008, which resulted in Danity Kane being disbanded in 2009. Miss Richard's first encounters with Mr. Combs' aggressive, intimidating behavior man, he's saying he's like this towards women. They saying Diddy don't respect the women. During the audition and on the set of making the band, Mr. Combs projected an aura of superiority, however you say that shit, wealth and power. Mr. Combs regularly wore sunglasses and avoided looking at the female contestants in the eyes, contributing to an atmosphere of unnecessary intimidation. During the auditions, Mr. Combs spoke to the female contestants in a hostile, condensing manner, making disparaging gender-based remarks such as calling them fat, ugly bitches, and hoes. Miss Richard felt threatened and intimidated by Mr. Combs' disdain for the young women like herself who were excited for the opportunity to be on the show. Once the band was made, Mr. Combs' concept of women was readily apparent and continued to display aggressive and hostile behavior towards Miss Richard and all her female Danity Kane bandmates. Mr. Combs regularly referred to the 5 women as bitches and hoes. Damn, they said he was talking down on their appearance. By an example, Mr. Combs stated that Miss Richard was too skinny and needed to do something about this, her face. On one occasion, in or around 2005, during the first season of Making the Band 3, Miss Richard observed Mr. Combs' ex-partner and mother of 3 of his children, Kim Porter, leaving Mr. Combs' recording studio in tears with the visible facial injuries, including a lacerated lip. Realizing that Mr. Combs was capable of committing acts of violence against women caused Miss Richard to feel deep apprehension and fear of Mr. Combs to physically harm her. Miss Richard was present when Mr. Combs introduced Cassandra Cassie Ventura for the first time around 2006. The moment Mr. Combs first saw Miss Ventura, his demeanor noticeably shifted. Mr. Combs positioned himself directly in front of Miss Ventura's seat, invading her personal space, and fixated on her with an intense stare, isolating her from other people in the room, including Miss Ventura's then boyfriend, music producer Ryan Leslie. Coincidentally, the first meeting between Mr. Combs and Miss Ventura was the first time that Miss Richard was in Mr. Combs' presence without the camera crew filming. Observing Mr. Combs behave in such an intimidating, predatory manner for the first time when they were off camera made Miss Richard feel deeply apprehensive and afraid of him. Subsequently, Miss Ventura ended her relationship with Mr. Leslie and began dating Mr. Combs, who would become violent and abusive towards her. Danity Kane's sexual harassment, inhumane treatment, and denial of basic needs by Mr. Combs. For the majority of Miss Richards' tenure as the member of Danity Kane, Diddy, Dirty Money, Mr. Combs required her to remain at his various residences and studios in New York, Los Angeles, and Florida, and New Jersey for activities such as recording, rehearsing, dressing, preparing costumes, and exercising. Throughout the production of Making the Band 3 and 4, Combs deprived Miss Richard and her Danity Kane bandmates of basic needs such as adequate food and sleep. When Miss Richard her Danity Kane bandmates requested meals or rest, Mr. Combs refused and chastised them with derogatory comments like, "You bitches don't want this," or "Y'all ain't hungry enough. I'm paying y'all bitches to work." This demeaning behavior gradually undermined Miss Richards' confidence and contributed significantly to her growing feelings of insecurity or fear for Mr. Combs. Upon information and belief, Mr. Combs would regularly be awake for prolonged periods of time because he was high on drugs. During these periods, Mr. Combs demanded continuous access to Miss Richard and her Danity Kane bandmates, often forcing them to record or rehearse for stretches of 36 to 48 hours without breaks, forced to choose between eating or sleeping. Miss Richard lost a significant amount of weight, weighing approximately 100 pounds. As a height of 5'4", Miss Richard began to normalize these extreme conditions and perceived them as standard requirements of her participation in Danity Kane. Mr. Combs regularly sent his associates to wake Miss Richard and her Danity bandmates in the overnight hours so he could watch them rehearse. Regularly, these disturbances led Miss Richard to adapt by sleeping or in a sitting position, fully dressed with makeup on. She had anxiety over this. Abnormal sleeping arrangement came as a routine, further normalizing Mr. Combs' invasive demands. In addition 2 exhausting rehearsals, Mr. Combs required Miss Richard and her bandmates to participate in intense workouts with a personal trainer. On one occasion, while running on the beach, Miss Richard became so dehydrated that she vomited. Instead of offering medical assistance, MTV Network's camera crew filmed the incident, contributing to her acceptance of such treatment as part of her professional life. Man, they saying the rigorous schedule of rehearsals, performances, and near constant filming that Mr. Combs imposed caused Miss Richard to experience extreme weight loss, dehydration, fatigue, and painful rashes from the microphone pack that she was required to wear on her back. These conditions intensified Miss Richard's feelings of powerlessness as she increasingly viewed them as part of her professional reality and feared consequences of any resistance. In a further, power dominance, Mr. Combs insisted on holding the meetings while dressed only in his underwear. On one occasion in 2008 at his Miami residence, Mr. Combs emailed Miss Richard directing her to meet him in his living room. When she arrived, he was wearing only his underwear. Miss Richard asked Mr. Combs to put his clothes on. He refused, stating, "This is my fucking house." Mr. Combs then conducted a meeting lasting approximately an hour while dressed in his underwear, causing Miss Richard to feel violated and embarrassed, and amplified her feelings of powerlessness. Following the official Danity Kane breakup in early 2009, Mr. Combs, Miss Richard experienced a significant financial hardship with no opportunities of employment within the entertainment field. Miss Richard spent several months traveling from Baltimore to Daddy's house, recording in the studio in New York without pay. Mr. Combs promised that Miss Richard composition would result in payment of license fees and royalties pursuant to her contract with Bad Boy Records. However, no such compensation was ever reported or paid by Miss Richard. Damages relative to these continuing copyright infringements will be proved at trial. By approximately this is Diddy Dirty Money, Miss Richard experiencing Mr. Combs' gender-based physical violence, criminal acts, sexual assault, threats, and intimidation. By approximately the fall, and this is page 12 of 55, y'all. By approximately the fall of 2009, many of Miss Richard's compositions had been recorded by other Bad Boy Records artists. Due to the success of the compositions, Miss Richard was invited to meet with the musical Kalina Harper. Miss Harper was shortly thereafter. Mr. Combs and Miss Richard, Miss Harper formed the new group Diddy Dirty Money. Initial recording for Diddy Dirty Money, Last Train to Paris, place in Mr. Combs' home, wherever in Los Angeles. On the first day of recording, Miss Richard and Miss Harper arrived at Mr. Combs' home and awaited in the kitchen, where Mr. Combs' girlfriend, Miss Ventura, was frying eggs for him. Miss Richard observed Mr. Combs come down the stairs looking high on drugs, entered the kitchen, approached Miss Ventura, and screamed, "I've been asking you for my shit. I can't stand you, bitch. You never do it right." Mr. Combs pushed Miss Ventura against the wall and choked her, then picked her up and scaling a hot pan of eggs and threw it at her, causing her to fall on the ground in a fetal position, cursing and screaming. Mr. Combs dragged Miss Ventura up the stairs. Frozen in shock and terror, Miss Richard heard glass shattering, crashing, and banging noises. Mr. Combs dragged Miss Ventura up the stairs. Miss Richard wanted to intervene and help Miss Ventura, but Miss Harper adamantly refused to interfere in Mr. Combs' relationship and physically led Miss Richard out of the residence. Terrified and shaken, Miss Richard returned to her hotel, where she was unable to sleep due to worrying about Miss Ventura and her own safety. The following day, Miss Richard received a call demanding that she return to Mr. Combs' residence and continue recording. Mr. Combs brought Miss Richard and Miss Harper into the recording room at his studio, locked the door, dimmed the lights, and gave each of them flowers. Mr. Combs went on a length stating, "This is normal. This was just a lover's argument where no one was hurt. This is what love is. I'm giving you an opportunity. If you want to make it, you'll shut your mouth. If you say anything, there will be consequences." Mr. Combs further warned that people end up missing. being threatened while locked in for over 20 minutes in a small enclosed space with Mr. Combs. After observing Mr. Combs violently assaulting Miss Ventura the day before, Miss Richard was terrified and genuinely believed that Mr. Combs would follow through on his threats. In or around November 2009, after the Soul Train Awards in Atlanta, Mr. Combs flew Miss Richard and Miss Harper to his house in New York on a private jet for an after party. There were many well-known celebrities at the after party, and copious amounts of illegal drugs were being openly consumed. Upon information and belief, Mr. Combs had arranged for dozens of young women and girls, some whom appeared to be underage, to be transported to the after party. The women arrived wearing little to no clothing and were given drugs and alcohol. Many of them appeared passed out while Mr. Combs and his guests performed sexual acts on them. Miss Richard believed that her presence at the party was to test to see whether Mr. Combs could trust her. Mr. Combs repeatedly said things like, "This is a buffet. Enjoy yourselves. This is what we do. This is how we party." Miss Richard felt shocked and horrified at the sight of Mr. Combs and his guests violating young women and implored Mr. Combs' personal assistant Capricorn Clark to allow her to leave. Mr. Clark insisted that Miss Richard wait 15 minutes for Miss Clark to make it make sense. That is, to make Miss Richard's exit less conspicuous. Let's see. So Mr. Combs would not notice that she had left, knowing that she was not free to leave, and had to wait for Miss Clark to help her orchestrate her departure. Miss Richard experienced feelings of panic and being trapped against her will. Mr. Combs regularly placed Miss Richard in similar situations with no means of escape. At Mr. Combs' drug-fueled parties, his guests, including Miss Richard, were required to surrender their phones upon entry. Mr. Combs kept the doors locked and guarded by security personnel, making it impossible for Miss Richard to leave without alerting Mr. Combs that she had done so. Mr. Combs hired police officers to attend parties, sending a clear message to guests that his influence extended to law enforcement officers, creating a climate of fear, and warming up reporting him to authorities would be both unacceptable and futile. On many occasions, Mr. Combs had parties at his Miami, Florida residence that lasted several days. At one of the parties, Miss Richard witnessed Mr. Combs openly stating that he had arranged for busloads of young exotic girls such as mixed Black and Asian, Indonesian, and albino. Once again, Miss Richard observed young girls being sexually violated by Mr. Combs and his guests. In a state of panic and terror, Miss Richard fled to the bedroom. Mr. Combs had insisted she stay and barricaded the door with furniture. Mr. Combs openly assaulted Miss Ventura in front of Miss Richard and the other witnesses on multiple occasions. On one occasion, in or around the fall of 2009, Diddy Dirty Money was in New York preparing to perform at a festival. Inside a vehicle, Mr. Combs grabbed Miss Ventura's neck, pulled her out of the van onto the grass, and pinned her head down, choking her while yelling, "You gonna get fucked up today." This incident took place in the backstage area just outside the festival and was entirely visible to passerby. They said in another instance, in or around early 2010, Mr. Combs punched Miss Ventura in the face in the bathroom of a party in Los Angeles. Frequently, when Miss Ventura attempted to voice an opinion or stand up to Mr. Combs, he would strike her or wrap his hands around her throat and choke her. On the first several occasions that they observed Mr. Combs assaulting Miss Ventura, Miss Richard and Miss Harper spoke to Miss Ventura to support and encourage Miss Ventura escaping her abusive relationship with Mr. Combs. Every time that Miss Richard and Miss Harper tried to intervene, Mr. Combs learned of the conversation and became irate. Mr. Combs screamed at the women, "Y'all bitches don't get in my relationship. Don't tell my bitch what she need to be doing. Just make money and shut the fuck up. I end artists. I shelve careers. You could be missing. You bitches want to die today? Damn, Diddy. This nigga crazy, cuz." They said, among other threats, Interscope Records enabling Mr. Combs' gender-motivated violence. In or around 2009, early 2010, Bad Boy Entertainment entered an agreement with Interscope, Geffen, A&M Records. Interscope, upon information and belief, Bad Boy was paid $50 million in exchange for Bad Boy's future releases being distributed through Interscope. In so doing, Mr. Combs intended to capitalize on Interscope's significant resources and enhance the promotion of sales of Bad Boy releases, including Diddy Dirty Money's upcoming album. In the weeks and months leading up to the Bad Boy Interscope deal, Mr. Combs had frequent meetings with the producer and CEO of Interscope Records, Jimmy Iovine. On such occasion, Combs hosted a dinner at West Hollywood, California restaurant. Miss Richard and Miss Harper were required to attend. Among the guests at the dinner, celebrities like Neo and Usher, as well as Mr. Iovine at the dinner. Mr. Combs and Miss Ventura had an argument in front of the dinner guests. Mr. Combs hissed at Miss Ventura in a screaming whisper and forcefully pushed her in the stomach, causing her to double over in visible pain. Crying, Miss Clark escorted Miss Ventura out of the restaurant. Mr. Combs remained and continued socializing with the guests. At this point, Interscope Records clearly had actual knowledge that Combs was dangerous around females, and Combs was willing to brazenly batter a female in public. Even after Mr. Iovine watched Mr. Combs commit a violent assault in front of numerous high-profile witnesses, the Bad Boy Interscope deal took place and remained in effect, providing Mr. Combs with immense financial rewards and enabling him to commit further acts of violence without fear or repercussion. Watching Mr. Combs openly assault Miss Ventura in front of Iovine and various celebrities, and observing that the powerful music industry representatives were complicit in Mr. Combs' behavior, amplified Miss Richards' fear Mr. Combs could one day harm her, that his actions would be accepted and normalized by everyone surrounding him. As part of the agreement between Bad Boy and Interscope heavily promoted Diddy Dirty Money Last Train to Paris album. Mr. Iovine had presented Mr. Combs with a demo of Coming Home for him to produce, a song that would become a multi-platinum hit. Mr. Iovine was encouraging Mr. Combs to develop a new sound for the album, in which Interscope was investing significant resources. Miss Richard, Miss Harper, and Miss Ventura all provided vocal performances for this project. Released in November 2010, the album Last Train to Paris became Diddy Dirty Money's most commercially successful project, providing vast financial rewards to both Interscope and to Mr. Combs. Salute lovely new for that 20-piece. You got me in here eating popcorn. Hey, man, we going through these damn receipts. Let's get to it, cuz. Now let's get to this part of it. We only on page 16, y'all. We got a lot to go, but it's going to be some shit we just going to skip past. But we going to get to most of the juicy parts. Diddy Dirty Money, Mr. Combs, subject Miss Richard to labor, trafficking, and oppressive working conditions. In or around fall of 2009, Diddy Dirty Money began recording song Love Comes Down. Upon information and belief, Mr. Combs continued to use drugs and caused him to remain awake for prolonged periods of time. When he was awake, he would demand that Miss Richard and Miss Harper record in the studio, where they spent 3 to 4 consecutive days recording without a break to eat or sleep. Mr. Combs required Miss Richard and Miss Harper to remain at his home, continuously denying the opportunity to return to their hotel rooms for breaks. The degree of control that Mr. Combs exercised over Miss Richard's daily life and basic needs, the significant power and imbalance of threatening atmosphere that she endured, Miss Richards' compliance with his demands. Mr. Combs regularly left his studio and required Miss Richard and Miss Harper to stay and write verses to songs. Occasionally, Miss Richard tried to leave and get something to eat or to go to a hotel. Whenever Miss Richard tried to leave, Mr. Combs would call or demand, "Where the fuck are you? And we have an album to make." Mr. Combs frequently made threats, especially if they asked for food or rest, stating, "You're a bitch. I don't want to see your fucking face. I make niggas go missing and I make things go away." Each time Miss Richard returned to the studio immediately, believing that Mr. Combs was capable of following through with his threats, Mr. Combs criticized Miss Richard for being too skinny, yet denied her request for food and demanding that she drink only peanut butter shakes. Yo, this nigga Diddy crazy as hell. That nigga said, "Bitch, drink a peanut butter shake." Mr. Combs had full meals prepared by his chef and ate them in front of Miss Richard and Miss Harper, never offering them food. Miss Richard and Miss Harper begged for food and rest, but Mr. Combs refused, making statements such as, "Absolutely fucking not. And this is what it takes to be great. Bitch, watch me eat this steak." Said, "Bitch, you gonna sit there and watch me eat this steak? You better go get a peanut butter shake. Hey, chef, make her a peanut butter shake. Get this bitch a peanut butter shake." Mr. Combs' responses underscored the threat he posed and heightened Miss Richards' concerns for her safety and well-being. As Miss Richards continued to work non-stop, transitioning between the studio rehearsals, workouts, and back to the studio, she became severely dehydrated and experienced chronic stomach cramping from being undernourished and exactly, she was basically just fucking skinny and hungry, man. And the motherfucker was skinny and hungry. On numerous occasions that she told Mr. Combs that she was not feeling well, he called her lazy and dismissed her health concerns, instilling in her further apprehension of communicating her needs. In or around the summer of 2010, Miss Richard experienced abdominal pain, swollen glands, and fever. She was hospitalized and diagnosed with whatever the hell that is, joint pain due to overuse, sprains, tendinitis, and infection, amnia, and low white blood cell count. Miss Richard presented Mr. Combs with the medical records specifying that she needed to emphasize eating, well-being, adequately hydrated, and getting adequate rest. But Mr. Combs ordered her to report to the studio the next day for another multi-day recording session. Mr. Combs' blatant disregard for her health and well-being cemented Miss Richards' fear of his authority and control over her career and health. Miss Richard continued to witness Mr. Combs' abuse towards Miss Ventura. Miss Ventura often wore sunglasses and makeup in an attempt to hide visible injuries. These incidences further solidified Miss Richards' fear of Mr. Combs, as they were constant reminders of the physical danger she potentially could and eventually would face. Mr. Combs often exhibited uncontrollable anger during the recording sessions, throwing objects like albums, laptops, and food against the wall or at individuals. Mr. Combs frequently flew into frenzied rages, and Miss Richard feared making any misstep that could direct his anger toward her. However, her fears were beyond her immediate physical safety because she witnessed Mr. Combs' violent nature, a side of Mr. Combs that the world had not yet seen. She feared that falling out of Mr. Combs' good graces, or worse, standing up to him or speaking up against him, could result in serious harm to her. Miss Richard frequently thought about Mr. Combs' threat about making people go missing and feared taking any action could label her as a target. Despite Mr. Combs' violence and threats, Diddy Dirty Money experienced significant sales, selling 2 million copies of the single, 500,000 in another U.S. and Australia, 5 million copies. Miss Richard unpaid wages, royalties estimated. The nigga Diddy ain't paying you, girl. Miss Richard's unpaid touring wages estimated, like he owe you $350,000 for tour. He owe you, man. The nigga just Ciroc Diddy non-payment. He ain't paying her for the Ciroc deals as well. We just get past the damn Ciroc deal. Mr. Combs sexually harassed and assault Miss Richards. So let's get to this one. He harassed her. And we on page 20 now, y'all. We still not even halfway done with this. Let's go. It says between approximately 2009 and 2011, throughout Diddy Dirty Money's recording process, rehearsals, and performances, Mr. Combs repeatedly ordered Miss Richards stripped down in her underwear. He frequently referred to her as a bitch or a blank. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Damn, brother, you snoring all of my damn live, okay? All right, he frequently referred to her as bitch or blank and made demanding remarks about her body, calling her lazy, fat, ugly, skinny, particularly in front of his friends, producers, and bodyguards. Mr. Combs frequently held meetings with Miss Richard wearing only his underwear, despite Miss Richard's protests and repeated requests for him to put clothing on. In response, Mr. Combs called her a bitch and a blank and reminded her that she should be grateful for this opportunity to be here. Often, while they were recording in the studio, Mr. Combs would hold parties where he would invite young men and women who were often dressed and appeared underage to use drugs and engage in sex acts. Miss Richard observed Mr. Combs and his colleagues kissing, groping, and inappropriately touching the young women. Upon information and belief, the participants often left the immediate area to have sex and returned shortly thereafter. On numerous occasions between approximately 2009 and 2011, under the guise of preparing for performances, Mr. Combs would intrude into Miss Richard's changing room at the daddy's house unannounced while Miss Richard was undressed. Even though the female stylist was present and assisting Miss Richard with her wardrobe, Mr. Combs would grope in Miss Richard's body, including her bare buttocks and chest area near her breast, with no legitimate purpose and without Miss Richard's consent. Mr. Combs caressed her buttocks to show the stylist where he wanted her high waist panties. Position. Golly, that damn dog is snoring all in my damn ear and move his ass over there. All right, it's, even though the stylist was present, Miss Richards with her wardrobe, Mr. Combs would grope her body, including her buttocks and chest where her breasts were, with no legitimate purpose and without Miss Richards' consent. Mr. Combs caressed her buttocks to show the stylist where he wanted her high waist panties position and attempted to touch her breast, claiming to show the stylist where he wanted the bra straps to go. When Mr. Combs would enter the changing room, Miss Richard would cover her chest with her hands to prevent Mr. Combs from seeing or touching her breast. When Mr. Combs would touch her body, Miss Richard would attempt to swat his hands away and state, "Don't touch me." Mr. Combs frequently smacked Miss Richard's bare buttocks and often commented on her body, noting that although she was too skinny, she had an ass. Ignoring her visible and communicated discomfort, Mr. Combs persisted and continued to intrude when Miss Richard was in the dressing room, continued to touch her buttocks and her breast under the guise of showing the stylist what to do, and continued to smack her buttocks without her consent. In or around 2010, Diddy Dirty Money performed in Scotland, where Mr. Combs engaged in overt sexual advances towards Miss Richard on numerous occasions. When Miss Richard exited the dressing room fully styled, Mr. Combs looked at her and smacked her buttocks while making comments such as, "You're looking good," and "Okay, Don, okay, I see what that is," in a flirtatious tone. Each time Miss Richard moved away, and when she asked him not to touch her, Mr. Combs disregarded her protest. On their last night in Glasgow, I don't know how to say that, Miss Richard witnessed Mr. Combs and several other males gang banging Mr. Combs' female assistant at a hotel pool. Miss Richard immediately left and went to the hotel room. On their flight back to the United States the next day, Miss Richard asked Mr. Combs where his assistant was, and he replied, "I don't give a fuck where that bitch is." Miss Richard later learned that Mr. Combs had taken his assistant passport with him to the United States, leaving the assistant stranded in the United Kingdom. Miss Harper confided in Miss Richard and her husband, manager Tony Vick. Mr. Vick was abusive. After an especially severe assault, she confided in Miss Richard that she wanted to leave Mr. Vick and that Miss Richard helped her plan to exit from the relationship. However, Miss Harper and Mr. Vick reconciled. And both Mr. Combs and Mr. Vick, who had a close relationship, learned Miss Richard's role in helping Miss Harper. Both Mr. Combs and Mr. Vick became noticeably distrustful of Miss Richard, which amped up her damn fears. When Mr. Combs would require his Diddy Dirty Money bandmates to stay at his residence in Miami, Miss Richard would barricade herself inside a room at night, placing heavy furniture against the door because she feared being harmed in her sleep. In or around December 2010, Miss Richard, Miss Harper, and Miss Ventura were in Mr. Combs' Los Angeles home, where Mr. Combs stated, I want to gift you fake titties for Christmas. Mr. Combs reached out and cupped Miss Richards' breast without her permission and stated, "You're an A. I'm thinking a D." Miss Richard recoiled in shock and left the room. Throughout the time period when Miss Richard resisted Mr. Combs' advances, Mr. Combs retaliated with denying her singing parts in songs, removing her from songs, refusing to allow her to sing in performances, and turning her microphone off during performances. The more Miss Richard rebuffed his advances, the more Mr. Combs' behavior increased. This nigga is a motherfucking menace, cuz. Mr. Combs' assault and false imprisonment of Miss Richard. In or around December 2010, Dirty Money was preparing for an upcoming performance on Saturday Night Live. As usual, rehearsals lasted for days without the opportunity to eat or rest. The rehearsal schedule was unpredictable. After waiting all day for Mr. Combs to send a car for Miss Richard, she received a phone call from Mr. Combs demanding, "Where the fuck are you bitches? You bitches don't want this. Y'all don't deserve to have someone pick you up. Get a cab." Miss Richard and Miss Harper immediately took a taxi to the studio, anxious because Mr. Combs sounded enraged. Upon arrival, Mr. Combs and Harv Pierre were waiting for them in the lobby. Mr. Combs screamed at them, "Where the fuck were you bitches? You bitches don't want to win. You don't want this. I'm so tired of y'all." Boy, this nigga Diddy, boy, this nigga, I could not work around him. Me and Diddy been in there rearranging furniture. They said, noticed that people in the lobby were reacting to Mr. Combs' tirade. Embarrassed, Miss Richard asked Mr. Combs to stop swearing and calling them bitches in front of everyone. Mr. Combs' facial expression shifted as he stepped towards Miss Richard, raised his arm, and swung his first toward her face, believing that Mr. Combs was going to hit her. Miss Richard braced for the impact before Mr. Combs could strike her. Mr. Combs' bodyguard grabbed her, escorted her out of the studio, and forced her into a Bad Boy Records Bentley that was parked outside. Miss Harper ran after Miss Richard, and Mr. Combs' bodyguard closed-locked the Bentley doors with both women inside. Inside the vehicle, Miss Richards realized that there were no interior locks and handles, that they were locked inside with no way of escape. Miss Richards' belongings were in the studio, but she was able to call her father from Miss Harper's cell phone. Miss Richard relaying to her father what happened, and she needed help and feared that she would go missing. Moments later, Mr. Combs' bodyguard removed only Miss Harper from the Bentley, leaving Miss Richard locked in the car alone for over 2 hours. Miss Richard screamed as loudly as she could, but no one responded. It was too late in the evening. In the wintertime, the windows were heavily tinted, and the interior of the car was dark except for the faint interior lights. Miss Richard's belongings and winter coat were in the studio. The ignition was off, and there was no heat. With Mr. Combs' prior threats of violence running through her mind, Miss Richards felt the sheer panic, terror, feelings of claustrophobia, being locked in a small, dark, enclosed space with no way to communicate or call for help. She began to feel cold and feared for her life, not knowing when or if she would be released. Miss Richards' father drove to New York from Baltimore and arrived at the studio approximately 2 hours later. Only after her father arrived and demanded to see her did Mr. Pierre order Mr. Combs' bodyguard to release Miss Richard from the vehicle. Mr. Pierre ushered Miss Richards' father between several rooms at the studio, where he waited approximately 2 hours before being able to confront Mr. Combs. Once Miss Richards' father expressed that he intended to contact the police, Mr. Combs warned him, "Think about your family and think about your daughter's career." Her father appeared visibly frightened, and Mr. Combs' threats and actions, which in turn made Miss Richards feel terrified for herself and for her family's safety. The next night, Diddy Dirty Money performed on Saturday Night Live. Mr. Combs subsequently called Miss Richard, complimented her performance, and concluded with the threat, "You don't call your dad unless you're in the hospital." Boy, that nigga Diddy, boy. He said, "You don't call your daddy unless you in the fucking hospital. Don't ever fucking call your daddy." Let's see, defendants by breach of contract and copyright infringement. This is just a copyright infringement. We're not gonna go over the damn copyright. This is just breach of contract. Like I said, I'm not gonna go over all this. We only on page 26. I'm just going over the juicy parts. This is just basically how she's filing for her copyrights, and she wants the copyright claims, and she's seeking for damages. You know what I'm saying? Ms. Richards suffered wild loss of income, wages. This is basically her saying, "Look, man, I need my damn coins." Violation of gender motivated violence. Let's get to this gender motivated violence. Repeat realleges that every allegation in all this shit is true. The above described Mr. Combs. Limit to New York. I'm just trying to read over the shit. Mr. Combs, including but not limited. This is just Harpier, and this is just basically them suing everybody. This is just the second cause of action, third cause of action. Like I said, I'm not going over the whole damn thing. I just want to get to the juicy parts of this. Fourth cause of action, violating the services victims, human trafficking. Plaintiff repeats and alleges. Well, she is saying, look, man, she was trafficked by, she was saying she was labor trafficked. Miss Richards, including her engaged to continue and engage in labor activity, meaning and instilling a fear in her that if she refused to comply, he would physically injure or seriously physically injure her or engage in conduct constituting in a felony or unlawful imprisonment in the second degree of violation of New York penal law. Defendant Bad Boy Records, venture holding, saying she held her against her will and all type of shit. He imprisoned her. Fifth cause of action, sex trafficking. And they saying that he also sexed her. This nigga going down for sex trafficking. Mr. Combs, one of the most prominent musical artists and producers in the industry, recruited and enticed plaintiff by intimidating a professional relationship with her, inviting her to join his band Diddy Dirty Money as a singer, songwriter, performer. This opportunity instilled that the plaintiff the hope and expectation in advancing her career and achievement and greater success in the music industry. Mr. Combs, through a pattern of coercive threats and displays of brutal violence, caused plaintiff to engage in commercial sex acts as defined. These acts were carried out by to further Mr. Combs' financial gain from Miss Richards' participation in Diddy Dirty Money, to exert control over her and to satisfy his own sexual gratification. Mr. Combs used fraud and force to coerce and entice Miss Richards into commercial sex acts. Mr. Combs did so by making threats of her career and promises of her career advancement in exchange for Miss Richards to Mr. Combs' sexual batteries and assault. Mr. Combs acted with knowledge or reckless disregard for the plaintiff and was forced to engage in these acts through coercion. And these acts were in exchange for her continued place in the band and for her financial stability. Defendant Bad Boy Records has financially and otherwise benefited from these acts and omissions by keeping Mr. Combs exploitive over the Bad Boy Records well, basically the nigga is going down for sex trafficking. He California sex trafficking, and they're saying he was depriving her. This basically just them detailing how he deprived her. He going down for sex acts. He going down for sexual battery. This is all. I don't even see how this ain't criminal, man. And then this is assault under the New York law. This is basically the assaults going through the New York law. This motherfucker going down for assault. Eighth cause of action, battery, sexual battery under New York law. New York law, he's going down for sexual battery as well. Ninth cause of action, false imprisonment. That's for that when he imprisoned her. He's going down for the false imprisonment under California law as well. 11th cause of action is going to be intentional infliction of emotional distress. She wants emotional distress for this. She finna get paid. How much y'all think she gonna get paid from this shit? How much you think Diddy gonna cough up to pay this damn lady? How much y'all think? Now this one is gender discrimination, hostile work environment, human rights law. Let's say sexual harassment, gender discrimination. They going for New York and California. Retaliation in violation of human rights in New York. Same thing is going to be hostile work environment for California. Let's see, discrimination again in California. She just going through and detailing everything she's suing this dude for, bro. Violation of right of publicity. Let's see, copyright infringement. And that really details a breach of contract as well. And Diddy will go down. I think that this will turn criminal. I'm gonna be serious. I think Diddy, this shit gonna turn criminal. Cause, like I said, I got all this shit. I'm not going over all this shit, but this is just basically them running down what they gonna do in this case, man. This is going to he gonna have to settle, dog. Just being real, Diddy gonna have to settle. The nigga gonna have to settle, dog. Diddy ain't gonna have no way other than to settle this shit out of court. Cause if he better not even think about fighting this shit, dog. I'm be real. Diddy better not even think about fighting this shit. Man. What y'all think about this Diddy shit, dog? I'm talking about, man, YSL trial loose, the Diddy case loose. It's all just loose. How long we been on here? 2 hours and 36 minutes. Shit, this shit is loose, cuz. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I'm talking about this Diddy damn case loose as a motherfucker, dog. Man. So what y'all think about it, Ratchet Gang? What y'all think? Your boy Diddy going down? Y'all think Ratchet? Y'all think they going down? Do y'all think they going down? Let me know in the chat. Do you think that they are going down? That's Diddy, and do you think YSL is gonna go down? Do you think Diddy is going down, and do you think YSL is going down? Let me know in the chat, y'all. Let me know in the chat. What's gonna happen with this damn Diddy case, cuz? What is gonna happen to this damn Diddy case? What is gonna happen to this damn Diddy case? Sheesh! Let's see. They saying Diddy is going down. Hell yeah for Diddy. YSL is going down to let's see. Let me do this real quick. Because once this live ends, we are going right. I'm gonna tell y'all, we're gonna do a double. Do y'all want to do a double dose live and pop some shit? Do y'all want to do a double dose live and pop some ish? Let me know in the chat if y'all want to go. We can end the content and get to some bullshit. Hold on. Y'all want to go right back live? Hold on, y'all. Do y'all want to go right back live? Because if y'all want to go right back live, we're going to address some bullshit. I can end this live and we can go right. I'm talking about we can get on some bullshit right now. We finna get on some bullshit. Hold on, cuz. Y'all want to get on some bullshit real quick? Let's get on some bullshit real quick. Let's pop this ish real quick. Hold on. Let's do this real quick. Let's go over here and do this real quick. All right, y'all. Look, this is what we're going to do. The content part of the show, we finna be like, all right, you know what? Hold on. Let's do this. Let me get can somebody send me that, who has that damn crop top killers pic? I can't find that damn picture. Hey, somebody send me that picture real quick. I think Bossy got that damn picture. Send me that damn crop top killers pic real quick. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I don't know where the hell it's at in my damn receipts. I need that damn picture because that's going on the thumbnail. I'm gonna put that on the damn thumbnail, cuz. Hold on, cuz. Hey, somebody send me that crop top killer's picture real quick. I'm trying to do this damn thumbnail. No. The one from Discord. I need the one from Discord. The crop top killers one. The thumb. I'll find it. It's somewhere in my receipts. I'll find it. Somebody sent me the wrong picture. I need the other thumbnail. There you go. Thank you. All right, I got it. I found it. All right, boom. We got it. All right. Now look, the live is already set up. Oh. Hold on. Damn it. Let me delete that one. I did 2 lives on accident. Hold on, cuz. I didn't mean to do this right. Let's delete this one. All right. I got the live already ready. Boom. All right. Let's go over here. think it's ready. Let me see. Okay, yeah, I got it. All right. So here's the live right here, y'all. Let me share it. Copy link. We finna go right back live because I want to get on some bullshit. Let's start some shit tonight. Let's start some shit tonight. And y'all can still hear me, right? All right. Because I can't see my damn... Oh, there it goes. I don't know why the hell I can't see my live stream. Okay, there it go. All right, look, here we go live right here, y'all. We going over here to this live right now. We going to pop some shit for about another hour, okay? Let's go. We finna go right back live. We finna go right at ATK. I had to do my content, but I'm finna go at ATK real quick. Dog. Younger Nation niggas got me fucked up. I think them niggas think I think these niggas think I'm a hoe or something. Fam, I will dog walk Cassie. Boy, if you don't shut your... Let me air this nigga out real quick, cuz. Let me tell these niggas really how I feel about it. I've been trying to just do my content and be quiet. I'm finna air this nigga Cassie out, cuz. Fuck this hoe ass nigga. Hey, we finna go right back live, cuz. Let me get on this bitch ass nigga real quick, cuz. Hey, y'all, we going live right now. We gonna fuck this. We ending this shit right now. We going right back live, cuz. I'm out. Let's go. Meet me over to the other live. Meet me at the other live. I'm gonna whoop Casey ass, cuz. Let's go. I'm gonna whoop his ass. Let's go.